Welcome to episode 74 of the current Backloggers. Wrong show. The date is July 20th. I'm your host, Casey P. Along with my good friend and co-host, D-Dubs. If anybody's still here, we can say how's it going.
Oh, it's going well.
It's going well?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Oh, just some gaming, some working, getting back on the diet track, as you can tell by the large pizza I just ate.
Yeah, we just recorded episode 6 of Pigskin Over Pizza.
Yeah, and
We're recording both these on the same day this time.
Yeah, we got a pizza that was rated accurately. I was going to say how I rated it, but you just have to go watch it.
That's the Cadillac, some would say.
Yeah.
Pizza.
And I ate the whole thing of it, so that gives you some indicator of how it was and how hungry I was. Been working, gaming, chilling. Same thing as always. Thank you. Same thing we all do every day.
Try and take over the world. Have you watched the relaunch or the redo of Animaniacs?
No, I can't watch any of those redos they're doing. I tried the
I need to do
SpongeBob
it.
one. It was awful. I tried the Rugrats one. Looked bad.
It was more like a nightmare, but I need to check it out.
And then no, I didn't even know they did the Animaniacs one.
Wow. All right. That was one of the first things we talked about on the show, and now it feels like forever ago.
Forever. You do random songs. I thought I could do it too because of words.
No, it just doesn't work with you.
Like the Taylor Swift song.
Which one? Okay.
You do that all the time too.
Yeah, when there's a Taylor Swift song, though.
Yeah, but usually if it's something negative, you can just say like the Taylor Swift song. There's probably a lyric.
That's cute.
Nice.
So,
what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Working. Overtime. Less overtime.
Shocker. That is a shocker.
Yeah, there you go. Went to...
Do we need to address the elephant in the room of Cody not being here yet again?
That's...
That's something we address later.
Well, no, we can address that here. I just think it's kind of fucked up. You said, I'm going to stop taking shots at Cody. We're going to address the elephant in the room.
Oh, but that's not... Jesus Christ. That's not me shooting at Cody. If I was going to take a shot, I would say like the big, sexy, fucking horny man in the middle of the room.
Yeah, so let's address it. So we've kind of been the past few weeks acting like, oh, he's busy. Oh, he's doing this. But
he's in the trunk with the babies.
Yeah, he got shanked.
Yeah.
And I played with him a little bit last night. He wasn't moving much anymore.
Was he moving a little still?
I think maybe my hand was so far up there that his body appeared to be moving, but it was really just me.
What part of him is this?
That's me inside of him. But then sometimes I get too excited. I'm like, and that's why I think maybe he's dancing, but it's really just me rocking his body.
Like that song, Rock Your Body?
Yeah. Do we need to start a third podcast where we just make references to songs and say that song?
That's already this podcast. So, and your life. So he's in the trunk with the babies from 2 episodes ago.
Oh, that's what you're referencing.
Last episode.
I thought you were bringing up something gross.
No, the stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's Cody's dream. If you know Cody and know what he's been through, then you know that he has a history with
stuffed babies.
Well,
or having a guy inside of him.
We'll talk off air.
Okay. Sounds good. Cody's not here again, as we're getting at.
Yeah, and those, believe it or not, are not the real reasons. He's been, ironically enough, taking a lot of overtime. So
which is ironic.
He hasn't been able to do it. So we'll see if he's back next week. If not, maybe D-Dubs will be back in here. Either way, we'll have a show next week of some sort. We'll have another Pigskin Over Pizza.
Pop!
There you go.
We need to get a soundboard. Pop, pop!
Nope.
Okay.
Pretty sure nobody's listening at this point after all your fucking noises you're making beginning
Dude,
my
that was
intro.
A hype as shit intro.
That's good.
So.
But besides working overtime.
Oh, yes.
You're good, buddy. I went to the crew game, as I talked about just a little bit ago here, if you're watching here. Episode 6 of Pigskin Over Pizza. That was tame one. And then besides that, the only thing I did this week, I went to one of my friend's birthday parties last night and hung out there. Did some stuff, Got a little Taboo, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds real dirty, but it's just literally the game Taboo. Yeah. But that was fun. Oh, I thought you were going to show some to the audience there.
Oh, no, I got my notes.
Oh. So I haven't been up to much this week.
Gotcha. Playing any games? I know we'll talk about that later, but did you actually get to this week?
I got more than I had been.
Okay,
Not
that's
enough,
good.
But yeah. I had games to talk about at least.
That's good. That's all I really care about. I have pictures of Cody's most recent pickups. Should I name those for my media pickups?
No, because I think we need to let him come back and just have like a
all
set.
of it. That's going to be its own podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he ever makes out of that trunk.
Good luck.
It's like I always said, good luck. Speaking of good luck, last podcast we recorded, Pigskin Over Pizza, we were talking about what this line was from. It's like a Beach Ball and Nickelback concert.
Yes.
It's from Hot Rod.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't that confident in it, but it felt like it was from that movie. Or I was thinking Basketball.
First, Basketball is going to come up later in the show.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh. You
but,
did? Weird.
But.
There's so many winks. Go ahead.
Make me say but one more fucking time. I dare you.
I'm not making you do anything. You're doing it.
But
I have a hair in my mouth.
Oh my god.
I got it.
I don't even know where the hell I was at.
But
great, thank you. That's where I was getting at. That I gotta be honest, I had no fucking clue what that line was from. It was bothering me. I didn't have any idea. As soon as I saw it was Hot Rod, I was like, oh yeah, no shit. But for some reason, it's just completely blank.
Beach Ball and Nickelback. Is it Danny McBride that says it?
No, at least the audio clip pulled up two of the guys from Lonely Island. Andy Samberg and his brother.
I think I said that way too quiet. It's probably going to cut out and make it sound like I said the N-word. I didn't say the
That's
N-word.
why I first I was like, what the fuck?
You can't say that. No, I said
I realized what you
Nickelback concert. And I feel like I said it too quiet and it's going to cut it out. So just to clarify, I'm not racist.
Speaking of racist, do you have anything from the weeks before that we forgot?
Oh, fuck. I thought I did. I thought we talked about it.
Did we?
I guess I don't because I can't think of it. Tat.
Sweet.
Thanks. You were being a douchey too with your face. I thought we were having like a little douchey thing there, but now I just feel like a douche.
I actually don't have anything this week either. I know I'm forgetting shit, but assuming you're here next week, it might just be a blowout episode where we cover a ton of shit we missed.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, just that we know that there's going to be stuff for next week.
So these shows might be shorter than normal, but
definitely Pop will be.
Yeah.
As you already know, because you've already watched it.
Question mark?
I don't know what order you will put these out. Had to do a little CTV there.
God, I love CTVing.
Yeah.
I just seen how long ago. That's my thing. Does it make you uncomfortable when I do that?
You make me uncomfortable as a person.
Speaking of uncomfortable, do you have any corrections, questions, or feedback?
Nope. I had a little bit of feedback, but I fixed it myself.
Oh, what was it?
That Derek character you had last week was a little too quiet on the podcast compared to you. We should turn up his mic.
Oh, well, I think he fixed that by fucking blowing out everybody's eardrums at the beginning of this.
I'm sure it's going to be louder than normal, yes.
Well, would you like to get to the emails at least, sir?
We're doing the emails. We always skip this part when I'm here because Cody's supposed to be back. That one was passive aggressive.
Probably didn't make it through either. Not probably sounds like you're talking to yourself.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So this is from James.
That's right, James B.
James B. From June 22nd. We've been putting it off because we wanted Cody to answer it, right?
Right.
And Cody's dead. Well, not moving as much in a trunk.
Yeah,
with stuffed babies.
Leaning towards dead.
He's definitely closer to dead. We could probably make a new hole.
Wow, what a movie. I need to edit my question or my answer to these questions now you said that.
Okay. Questions for you. How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you, James? This is weird.
Yeah, that's what to say. If you don't fucking do this.
I purposely paused, but it's still weird being the one to do it.
This question is inspired. Is there 2 questions? No. Yes, it is.
Just separately.
This question is inspired by E3, but not necessarily related to it. It's just for fun, so your answers can be whatever you want. Not just what was shown.
I fucking hate you.
I feel like I was doing a service to I feel like I'm really getting out his emotion in the email.
No, he doesn't actually sound like a massive asshole.
No, he's excited about it. It's from E3, but you guys don't have to. You know what I mean? I feel like if your favorite developers announced 5 sequels you always want, I stopped doing it. I'm trying to stop.
Sorry.
If your favorite developers announced 5 sequels, is that worse?
I like it. Professional.
Let me read the fucking question.
I'm trying to.
If you make me say "but" one more time,
I haven't made you say that.
Our dynamic is much different than your and Cody's. It's like a totally different show. If your favorite developers announced 5 sequels you always wanted and 5 new IPs you know you would like, what would those be? Signed Sasquatch.
You even said that, my guy. Thank you for the question, James. I'm sorry it took so incredibly long.
Am I going to read this part of it also?
Is that the first email still?
Well, yeah, like it's his answer. Do you say that after we answer it?
You can say that part if you want. There is another question in that email, in case you didn't see it.
So this question should be made more straightforward.
That one you can probably think of on the fly.
Yeah, I could probably.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a second question. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Or do you want me to read his answer to the last question?
Oh, yeah, just the answer.
Okay.
That's when I get mixed up.
So his answer for the last question, for sequels, he would like Alien Isolation 2, Bloodborne 2, good fucking choice, Legacy of Kain 6, Beyond 2 Souls 2, Beyond 3 Souls is what we should call it.
Why?
Because it's a sequel. And Mass Effect Andromeda 2. For new games, I could think of only 2. No, I'm surprised. I feel like I could feel that you didn't like the way I said that.
I just said 2.
First, a combination of Minecraft and SimCity where you can explore an open world and mine resources to build cities anywhere. Sounds fun. I would play it. Second, a game based on the Underworld movies that plays like a better version of Colonial Marines, where you can choose what side you want and try to wipe out the others.
That'd be cool if they did it right. They'd have to make it go bad real fast, but...
And then he has another question for us that we will answer after we answer this one.
All right. Do you want to go? We can go back and forth if you want.
However you want to do it. I have like 2 bonus ones.
Oh,
2 bonus
Jesus.
answers. Yeah, I really went above and beyond for extra credit.
Beyond. I feel like I didn't do the opposite, but you told me you're real proud of your answers, and I'm gonna be happy if any of this comes to fruition. But I'm like, man, I could have thought of better answers. Kind of sad.
I'm assuming once I say them out loud, in my head I was like, these are good. But did you actually think of new IPs? Because you were saying you think it's going to be really hard, and even he said it was pretty hard and you can like hope too.
Yeah, I didn't think of new IPs. I tried to think of stuff that hasn't been games, at least, though, for the most part.
Okay.
Like properties of movies or books to turn into games.
Okay, I kind of did that with one of them.
Okay.
So I think I cheated on a couple of my answers. But I think I have at least 3 new IPs.
Well, do you want to go first and we can start with the sequels?
Sure. Are we just... You want me to read all my sequels, or are we going back and forth?
We can go back and forth, discuss.
I'll read from the bottom up because my top one is the one I want the most.
Okay.
A Splinter Cell reimagining. I don't really want another one, like Splinter Cell 28. I would like them to do whatever Motive is doing with Dead Space and just give me like a Splinter Cell today. Like a today's version. I feel like with today's technology and lighting and shit, like ray tracing and shit, you can make a fucking awesome looking Splinter Cell game that is based on stealth, like the first one was. So that we're doing sequels, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you can call it a sequel if you want, but I guess so. Splinter Cell 105, whatever the next one is, and then or a remake, which I guess is cheating, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest stealth guy, but that could be cool.
I just feel like with today's technology, and as long as they made it more modern, like the shooting felt more modern.
Yeah.
Like maybe like you can choose to be stealthy or be not stealthy, but the focus is like Hitman. Like you should be stealthy, but you can also just fuck shit up if you want.
I hear you. Have you played any of the? Well, there hasn't been a new Splinter Cell, but newer.
Mm-hmm. I liked them.
See, I don't think I played the past few, and I feel like I should have because they seem more up my alley. They seem like they got farther away from stealth.
Yeah, the newest. I didn't play the newest one. But I know the ones like Double Agent or whatever I think it was on 360. It's pretty actiony.
Oh, yeah. What are the other? There's newer ones. Conviction with one.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because I played the earlier ones, and I liked them more in theory. But stealth games always seem cool, but I never stick with them because they get more frustrating. Blacklist, that was the other one. Those seemed like the ones more up my alley, but I never even played them. I played the older ones.
Yeah, I think I stopped at Double Agent.
Yeah, I should. Those games at the time looked really impressive, but I feel like they'll already be dated now, so I'm wondering how they would play the newer ones.
I realized that I cheated twice.
All right, hey, that's fair.
Answers,
I cheated on all mine.
Cheat on you often.
You just said that on camera. Should I do my first?
I thought we weren't recording.
I would have had to fire you, I gotta be honest.
That would have been twice.
Yeah, you would have definitely lost his income you're having there.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. Go ahead.
We'll talk off camera. I'm just gonna say
a lot
all the
to
time.
talk about.
Yeah. This one should come to no shock to anybody that knows me or listens to the podcast. Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
By Remedy, just stick with the original developer. I feel like it'd be weird to have anybody else do it.
Oh yeah, the question was the original developer, right? Like you want that team to make a sequel? Because I'm assuming these are the same people.
That's probably how he was phrasing it. These aren't he said your favorite developers, and these definitely not my favorite developers that have made some of these games. So what I did was just put a developer to a game.
Okay, that's what I did for my new IP. Is I put a developer to a new IP that I like.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, just so we're clear of what we're doing.
I think I don't know if Alan Wake is ever gonna happen because I felt like it should have happened by now. I just wonder if it's ever gonna. I think the most likely scenario is if Microsoft buys Remedy, but I don't think that's gonna happen like a lot of people do.
Remedy, they made Max Payne, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, they made
and Control
and call it
the other one with the guy from the show.
Yeah, why am I blanking?
Quantum Break.
Yeah, so they made a lot of cool stuff, and then they're making the campaign to that new shooter. What is it called? It's exclusive for Xbox. It's super popular in Korea, I guess. Let me look it up. You could go to your next game if you want, so that way I'm not holding us up.
Well, I'll jump on the Remedy train.
Oh.
I would like a Max Payne 4. Right?
Okay, yeah.
By Remedy, not by Rockstar. Because Rockstar made 3.
Yeah, they made 3.
I loved 3, don't get me wrong. I love Max Payne in general. But I would like a Remedy Max Payne 4. Or a remake. Like a reimagining, like a today's Max Payne. But I would take a Max Payne 4 for sure. And I would pre-order the fuck out of that.
I feel you.
For sure.
It's Crossfire X. I should trust in my gut.
Oh,
I guess
yeah, I don't know what that is. Which is crazy because I love shooters.
I didn't either, and they showed it during one of the probably E3 a couple years ago. And I was like, this thing was super impressive. How'd this come out of nowhere? And I guess it's fucking huge in Korea. It's been out for a while. But
sounds familiar.
Multiplayer only, but they're going to have exclusive for Xbox. Remedy's making a campaign to it, which I think is part of the reason people are reading into them partnering with Xbox or Xbox buying them. Because they've done stuff like that before, like Alan Wake. But I feel like some of that is true and kind of interesting, but at the same time, you've heard a lot about all the issues with Alan Wake and Xbox. So and then Remedy seems to also partner with PlayStation sometimes, so I think they don't want to be bought.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Alan Wake's ever going to happen again. And then
same with Max Payne, probably. Yeah. I don't think that'll ever happen.
I'm guessing Rockstar probably owns Max Payne.
Probably, but I would want Remedy.
Yeah, I hear you. So my next one, right?
Yep.
is Shadowrun 2,
Nice.
and the developer of Shadowrun is long gone, unfortunately. So I picked one that I know will never happen, but I think would be super interesting and natural evolution of it. So I think Xbox should buy the exclusive rights to it again, since it was the Xbox property. But then they're obviously not going to be able to buy this team, but pay them to make this game, and that would be Blizzard. Since they do Overwatch, I feel like Shadowrun.
Yeah,
kind of like
that feels like a good answer. I was
Yeah.
going to say the Valorant people, but I think Overwatch fits way more with Shadowrun than Valorant ever does.
Yeah, I feel like Overwatch is like a natural evolution of Shadowrun. And
Yeah.
then you have, if they team with Xbox, you have two fucking gigantic companies that could deliver way more than. Because that was one of the downsides of Shadowrun, the lack of content.
Yeah. It's a good fucking answer.
Well, thank you. I know it never happened, but these are.
I'm afraid none of these are going to happen. So, I have two that are super obscure. Actually, I think that my last three are all pretty obscure. My third one is Condemned 3. Remember those games?
Yeah.
Condemned 1 was fucking sweet. I think it was like a launch game with 360 too.
Oh.
And Condemned 2 was pretty good. I liked it quite a bit. But man, I feel like Condemned has a space in today's gaming. of a horror melee game, a detective. I like that. That's what I liked about the first one so much. It's like the crime scenes and scanning shit and trying to figure out what happened, and it was pretty scary too. The end was fucking nuts. And 2 I liked, but it was more actiony. I would like a horror-based, detective-based Condemned 3. I doubt that team still exists.
I was looking up. There are also ones that made Fear one of my favorite series, and that's Monolith.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. It doesn't say they shut down. It just says when they were founded 26 years ago. Usually there's like a...
There was Sega. Is that true? Oh, publishers Sega. Well, when Sony buys Sega and Warner Brothers, we'll get the next Condemned.
There you go. Wow, on Monolith's main page, they have a bomb, apparently, if you just heard the audio. The girl from Fear right there.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, thought she would have been way away from them. So, maybe Fear will live again. I played Condemned a little bit, but I never really stuck with it. And I know it would be super dated now, so if they did a new one.
God, I bet it'd be fucking awful now.
They did a new one, I'd try that. Be interesting. I feel you.
Yeah, my next two are definitely, especially the last one, you're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
I probably should have done my next two first, because I feel like these are more predictable. Resistance 4, of course, stick with Insomniac.
That's all you. That's a PlayStation, right?
Yeah. PlayStation exclusive, and I think is a really interesting trilogy. And I think the idea of it, the alternate history and the Chimera coming to this planet, I think is fucking awesome. And the 50s setting, but alternate history with it. And I feel like it didn't get a lot of love because that's when Halo came out, or when they were trying to compete with Halo. It obviously was trying to be the Halo for PlayStation. And I feel like it could never be that, no matter how good it was. So I feel like people didn't judge it fairly. And then Killzone kind of overtook Resistance, where I like Killzone. I think Resistance was far more interesting. So I feel like PlayStation would be smart to come back to Resistance at some point, especially owning Insomniac now.
That's a first-person shooter, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've really gone away from that.
Yeah.
So you'd think they would maybe try to at least make a comeback to it.
Yeah, I think that or Killzone has to come back at some point, and I would hope there'd be Resistance, especially because we've gotten Killzone so many more times now.
There's definitely a space. Yeah, I feel like I was listening to a different podcast. They were talking about how, I think they were talking about what game type would you like Xbox to take from PlayStation? Obviously, a third-person action-adventure, story-driven, and then PlayStation, they would want to see a shooter like Doom or Call of Duty or something. Not like Call of Duty, 'cause obviously they have it, but like Xbox has Doom, so like a first-person shooter.
Hear you?
So they definitely could use one. This next one, The Suffering 3. This was made by Midway, so this one won't happen. The Suffering was a third-person horror game. I think it was one of the first games to do like the dismemberment when you're shooting.
Was it?
It was like super ahead of its time. It kind of was like Dead Space, but like not in space, like Dead on Earth. But it was scary. It was fucking violent. The story was sweet. You're like a psycho who's like escaping a prison, and there's all these scary ass monsters. And it's fucking awesome. It was kind of like Max Payne and Dead Space had a baby, and it was fucking awesome. And they somehow made 2 of them, and they weren't well known. Me and one of our buddies, Jeremy, sat there and played both of them, and I think fondly of those time and would love a third one to come out in some world where we could get together and play through it like that.
I feel you.
But I know for a fact that one's never going to happen, unfortunately. But there's a lot of CTV happening with me.
You should have done before we started.
I don't drink normal pop, so I think the sugar's like sitting back there.
Oh. No, that'd be interesting. That was another one I never really played.
I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Hear you.
I think it even had like a painkiller system, just like Max Payne. It had like a puzzle system. It was sweet. It was really good.
I totally skipped over one of my answers, so we'll go back to that since, like I said, my last 2 were, I think, more predictable. Because what?
Oh, yeah, I only have 1 more.
What the hell happened?
I did 4.
Oh, yeah, you went first, so that
first.
makes sense. Okay,
So you would have
2 more.
this one, and then I would have 1, and then you would.
Okay. So I'll start with the more predictable one since I did skip over one. And this one you're not going to be interested in.
Okay.
But Halo Wars 3. I love the Halo Wars series. And
I want to give them another shot, to be fair.
You should. Even if you don't like the gameplay, I think the cutscenes are better than any base Halo game, which is fucking crazy. And I feel like you like the world of Halo and the lore of Halo. And like I said, I feel like those cutscenes are better than any of the mainline Halo games.
I feel like I could get into the gameplay too. I just need to like give it a fair chance.
Yeah, it's never gonna feel like Halo, but in the way that the game actually plays. But I think it's interesting because it plays like Halo as far as like watching the gameplay happen, just from a completely different angle. Yeah. So I think it's really cool to see it from like a bird's eye view and control like that, especially because RTSs are way too much for me. I can't handle that, and they simplified it so much, which I know that's one of the criticisms, but for me, that's fucking perfect.
Yeah, that's what I need to, because I really want to like RTSs bad. I've tried a lot of them. They're just tough.
I would start with the first one, obviously, story-wise, but also I think the first one's way more accessible, which is odd, because I think a lot of people think the opposite, and think 2 is way easier to play.
Okay.
But I don't know. Something about it for me is definitely harder than the first one.
I'm not picking my nose, video people.
Oh, we got a leaker. You want a paper towel?
I'm bleeding. No, it doesn't feel like it's going to be like a big deal. I've been getting headaches lately, and then my nose will start bleeding. So I'm afraid I have a tumor.
Oh.
Which isn't something to joke about. But there's like a small fear of that. But in all reality, I just get nosebleeds because I broke my nose when I was younger.
I did that to you too.
You didn't. A tree did.
That's what they call me.
Is it all you wanted to?
Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward, I think.
This last one.
Creative Assembly, I guess I should say. They're the ones that made the last Halo Wars.
Oh.
Sorry. I like Halo Wars 1 more. I think that's definitely a minority of that. I just think it's simplicity makes it easier to play for me. But unfortunately, Ensemble, the studio that made the original Halo Wars, I don't know if you remember, Xbox closed them down before the game even launched, which is kind of fucked up. And then they launched the game and it sold really well. And then the studio is just non-existent. And then Creative Assembly is super well known. They're with Sega and make the Total War series, which people say are one of the best RTSs, and that's what they made.
Oh yeah.
Had made Halo Wars 2, which I think is a smart choice. But
is that the Rome Total War? That's the newest one, I think.
And we're back.
We're back.
I don't know if that's how you want me to do it or not.
I'm bleeding out of my face quite a bit.
Rome Total War is Creative Assembly.
Okay.
So they do all the Total War stuff. They do it, just the total.
But they're totally doing the total stuff.
They're totally assembling all of it
Creatively.
Damn it. Yep. But we can move on to your next one.
My next one, and people that really know me would know, Kane and Lynch 3.
I hate you.
Is what I want more than anything.
Why'd you lie to me?
I didn't want to spoil it.
Oh.
Kane and Lynch 1, for some reason, is one of my favorite games. It had so much potential to be fucking incredible, and I thought it was, but it definitely fell short, and I understand that. And somehow got a second one, which was even crazier. That game, it needs a third one. It deserves a third one. But to complete the story would also be nice. And they need to make the movie that they said they were going to make with Will Smith playing one of the lead white characters. No, Will Smith. Jamie Foxx.
I sound like you're talking through your nose.
I'm bleeding a lot. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm joking. Yeah, I think those games are good. I don't think they're...
I think the majority of people would think they're good to bad.
I think if they ever were going to do one, now would be the time, because I feel like at that time, everything was trying to do co-op stuff like that, and now everyone's gotten away from it. Or if it's co-op, it's Destiny or Outriders or all these things that...
You know who would be fucking sweet to make this?
Who's that?
The people that made A Way Out.
That would be exciting stuff.
That would be fucking awesome. One of you plays each one, play across it. Oh, dude.
They might come up later.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, this is not one of mine, but you reminded me. Another game you might think is a joke, but that I think would be perfect for right now and similar to Kane and Lynch in that way would be Army of Two.
I thought about Army of
really?
Two because I was thinking about me and Jeremy. Me and him also played through the Army of Two games.
And I think that game could be a hit now.
I know that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it sold well, but I'm saying it could be a crazy hit again. You're good.
So sorry, podcast.
Anything else you want to say about that?
Nope, those are my 5. Kane Lynch 3, Max Payne 4, Suffering 3, Condemned 3, and a Splinter Cell reimagining.
All right. You ready for my 5th?
Yes.
You're going to be on board with me, I think.
I've been pretty on board with yours.
Okay. This one I think really should happen, but I don't know if it ever will. It's another developer is still around, at least, and that is The Darkness 3 by Starbreeze.
Oh, yeah. I've recently Googled The Darkness to see if there's any news.
Yeah, I know Starbreeze went through a lot of weird stuff with their studio getting raided and all kinds of weird stuff, and then they're the studio that makes Payday now, and that seems to be the persistent moneymaker.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're ever going to go to a game like that again, especially since they don't seem to be the most... they seem kind of be rocky right now.
Yeah.
But I would love it if they could, because The Darkness was so unique and really cool.
I need to do a quick exchange.
Okay. And I really want to go back and play the other Darknesses, but I think those games are going to be real dated as well, and probably more frustrating than fun.
Oh, yeah. I bet those games suck dick.
Man, I just need more Darkness.
Yeah, those games are fucking awesome. Both of them were.
Yeah. I like the first one more. But they both
held up.
Yeah.
You know a game I associate with The Darkness that isn't Darkness at all?
What's that?
Alone in the Dark. You know
Which
what game
wasn't
doesn't,
that great.
Yeah, you know what game doesn't need to be another one?
Halo? Damn, I'm fucking good at this.
This is a good bloody nose.
Is that a thing? A good bloody nose?
That just means it's a thick boy.
Oh. Should I talk about my theory for these flies? Do you think these flies are on camera ever? Do you think people are seeing it, or we just look like crazy people?
No, definitely not. Now I'm like over here, like for a long extended period of time, looking at one, and I just look like an idiot. I know that because I've seen it on camera. Really quick, when I was younger, I fell out of a tree face first, and I broke my nose. And since then, I get nosebleeds all the time. Really sorry.
Hey, it's okay.
Apologizing to you and the viewers.
before we get to these games, I can tell 2 random things. I can talk about my fly conspiracy here.
Sure, yeah.
So, we live in an apartment.
And you've been shitting in the corner.
No, remember?
That's not it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And we've had occasional flies like anyone has. For the past couple weeks, there's been an excess amount of flies. If you've watched any of our content, even if you can't see them, you hear us talking about them, you'll probably look at us looking like crazy people. And I would take the trash out regularly. I'm not leaving any more food sitting out than normal. Nothing's really happening. But the trash compactor, no human here seems to know how to use it. So it just consistently overflows, and then the raccoons come and start pulling stuff out, and the cats come by, and it's just like a fucking party over there. They have these fly sacks. Have I shown you these over there?
No.
They have 8 of them, and they're just traps the flies come into and can't leave. And I bought one I'm going to use in here, and it looks identical to the one they have. And this thing can hold 20,000 flies. And they have 80 of these bags out there, and they are jam-packed. Oh, yeah.
No.
And there's more flies trying to get into it, and they can't. It's so full.
That's disgusting.
I was like, you have more than 80,000 flies over there?
That's so fucking gross.
So that's my theory. We live close to the trash compactor. I think there's like, when they finally get cleaned up, because they clean it regularly, just the people here are terrible. So it's not even like the maintenance or anything. I can't blame them. But I think when they clean it up, the flies are shit. Where we go now? No. Well, there's.
Might as well go to this guy's house.
Yeah, I mean, 80,000 of our friends are trapped in these bags.
They have 8 of them?
Yeah.
And they hold 20,000?
If they're the same as mine, it'll look identical.
So there's 8 times 2 is 16. That's
yeah.
160,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That's a lot of fucking flies. And fucking 20,000 of them are in here.
Yeah. Crazy thing is, we talked about there's probably only like 3 in here, but they make it feel like.
One is so big.
He's colorful too. He landed here once. He's green. He's beautiful.
I thought the green ones are the poop ones.
I don't know. I'm being stupid, but.
Every time my dog poops and I don't pick it up because I'm lazy, the green ones go to the poop.
I wonder if he messes our green screen.
That's why we can't see him.
Buckeye's getting real pissed then too. You'll see him laying there.
Buckeye's real pissed at life.
Yeah, he's getting old, so you know how old people get. They get pissed. But you'll see him sitting there, and he just
How old is Buckeye?
He's 11. But he'll just start chomping at this guy, and you'll see a fly coming by, which was a sick ass rhyme.
Your blood?
No, you're good.
I think I'm done bleeding.
Should I tell my other quick story here?
I'm definitely not done bleeding.
So, a couple of days ago, I'm on my way to work, right?
I'm on my way. Yeah.
You should stop with these random song things. I'm not a fan. So, I'm on the highway. I'm in the left lane, which is the fast lane, right? But it's the highway where there's a divider, so it's the fast lane, but
that's collide, not divide. Fuck.
But these lanes are going to intersect soon. So it's not really the fast lane because it's just a divider. Yeah, right. So I'm there. I'm going 69 miles per hour because I have it on speed control or
cruise control.
Cruise control. The hell.
Same thing.
It just was weird to say. I've never said that in my life. So I'm going over the speed limit. There's this woman behind me.
She hot?
No. That's tailgating me that if I brake checked even a little bit, her car would have been totaled and mine would have been quite damaged, and I considered it. But
a new car also.
Yeah, but I decided not to.
Okay.
And there's also a lane to the right that's completely empty that she could have just been like, if she really cared that much, got over and got in front of me. So what she did was get over in the lane next to me eventually, after doing it for almost till when the divider happened, and she could have just got by me on the left side. But she waited till right when I was breaking up and got on the right, and then just stared at me, and just the most dead face ever. And I was like, and I just kept acting like I didn't see it. And she was just staring. I don't know how she didn't crash. She just stared straight at me. She didn't look away at all because I could see out of my peripheral.
Yeah.
She was just staring. So I was like, yep, you can go. And then she just kept staring. So I was like, and flipped her off. And then she didn't like that. And she sped up and then cut in front of me and tried to stop really fast.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know how the hell that was my fault that I was going over the speed limit. It wasn't fast enough for you, and it wasn't in the fast lane, which also I don't think people understand the fast lane doesn't mean you get to go as fast as you want. And
it's for overtaking, right?
Yeah.
Carpooling.
And that's what I was going to say. Everybody's like, well, you're the one that stayed in the left lane. You're not supposed to do that. For one, like I said, it was a divider, so it's not technically really the fast lane. But even if it was, the people that say that are the same people that
Go 80.
Yeah, and then stay in that lane. They don't do it to overtake people. I'll get over and then just stay in that lane. And so it's fucking stupid. And here's where you might disagree with me. I didn't overreact. I didn't try to speed up. I was like, all right, she's an idiot. I'm not going to do this because we'll know how this will go. But I would have been perfectly okay if I went ahead and then I saw there's another divider later on the highway. And if she just slammed right into that and just splattered all over it, I would have had no issue with it. I was going to say I see her getting a crash, but that's somebody else that doesn't deserve it. But if this girl just splatted, I'd be fucking so okay with it. I wouldn't kill her. And if I killed her, I'd feel terrible, even though she seemed like a terrible person. And you might say it's dramatic, and most people would. But at the same time, you got to think she just put my life at risk and also other people's life at risk and didn't really seem to care at all. So
it's still dramatic.
If she's doing that and thinks that's okay to potentially kill other people because I was not going fast enough with my going over the speed limit, die all you want.
Yeah, I disagree, but okay.
Yeah, I have a different view if you listen to Pigskin Over Pizza with injuries in football and death in general. Not just anybody I dislike should die, but people that do things like that and are truly terrible people, I'm not going to kill them. I'd feel terrible even killing, well, it feels like Hitler, so I feel weird that I killed somebody, but I'd be like, I don't really care. But if it's like somebody I dislike, I couldn't kill them. But if somebody's like, hey, I can do this for you, and there's no legal, it's not like a hitman thing, like this just.
Sounds like a hitman thing.
That's what I'm setting up, because I know, okay, fine, we'll go with your scenario, because I know legally that'll be issues. But they came up and, hey, he's dead. I'd be like, oh, all right.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, sure, at minimum, there was a cop there. I was really hoping he would have pulled her over. That would have been nice and made the less extreme version. But I'm being honest, if I just saw her crash there, I'd just be like, oh my God, she's fucking dead.
That is fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm like, I will be so patient with people that are like that, like speeding up, brake checking me, but I'll also be super petty about it. Like, I'll get in front of them, go 64, and I'll see them put the turn signal on. I'll pop over to that lane. I'll speed up to where I'm in between two other cars that are going really fast, and I'll go the exact same speed they're going so they can't pass.
See, that's what made it so annoying, because I didn't even try and slow down. I could have brake checked her. I was going over the speed limit, and that wasn't good enough for her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, once they did that to me, I would then just proceed to fuck with them. I have two modes: patient fuck with, or I'll follow them. Like, I'll just it does not matter where I'm going. I will get behind them and I'll follow them the whole way.
But say I slowed down, if she was that stupid to swerve in front of me and I had to hit the brakes to not cause a crash, then if I slow down, maybe she's the kind of person who's going to slam into my car, you know?
You get in the car. Seatbelt on. Right?
Maybe I'm the one that splatted.
Well, she's in prison for life. Then when you're sitting in whatever you believe in, you sit in after death, you'll get to rest easy knowing she's in prison.
Speaking of prison, what are your 5 games?
What? Are we done with that section?
Yeah.
What was your last one?
The Darkness.
The Darkness 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that's where we went.
I don't know how. I didn't sidetrack us at all.
So those are our sequels that we'd want. And now 5 new IPs, right?
Yep.
Am I starting? Are we going back and forth again?
Yeah, and I know you somewhat took liberties to not completely create new IPs, kind of take properties that haven't been games or haven't done well in games in my scenario in some of these.
I did that for one. I think all the other ones are new.
Okay.
Except for my bonus one. So, my first one is going to be shocking, and it's taking a property. It's cheating. My first one's shopping. No. My first one's cheating for sure. Skyrim, which I've said on last episode that I don't even like Bethesda, and I hate Skyrim. But I want that exact team to make a Harry Potter game.
No, that could be cool.
Because the lore, like, to the point that you can pick up books in Skyrim and read full fucking books. And the mod support, everything about Skyrim to the level of detail. If you did that with Harry Potter, Hogwarts, Diagon Alley, Hogsmeade, London, like, if you just made that world that detailed, I'm down. We don't know what Hogwarts Legacy is going to be, if it will even be.
It will be.
I hope so. Why that is the symbol, but if I were to, since that hasn't been made yet, I would like the Skyrim team to make a Harry Potter game.
No, that could be really cool. I also do not like Skyrim at all. I really like some Bethesda stuff, including Fallout, which is similar to Skyrim. Mm-hmm. But I do not like Skyrim at all. But I could see that being very cool. I'm wondering,
the magic thing down. You would just make a character that go to the school or whatever. I don't know. I feel like they could just really do it. What are you wondering?
I agree. I'm wondering if there's a developer that I bring up later in here, if you think they can maybe do it better. But
maybe.
We'll see.
This was just because their attention to small details and the way they build a world. I think they could build because honestly, I don't even know how the story of Skyrim is. I'm assuming it's fantastic because everybody just fucking creams over that game. So I'm assuming they would get the lore and everything right on. But I just know the world they would be perfect to do. They could also do a good Lord of the Rings game.
That'd be awesome. Minus the spiders.
Yeah, spiders.
They'd definitely be in there, though.
100%. They'd probably be in the Harry Potter one, too.
They would, yeah. Cut that shit out.
Keep it in. Go ahead.
Cut it out.
Your first one?
My first one is an amazing movie.
Okay.
I think it's one of the most underrated animated movies. And that is 9.
Okay.
I think it already feels like a video game. I feel like it could be a very cool video game. If you haven't watched 9, you should. I don't think you're the biggest fan of it.
I liked it.
Oh, do you?
I liked Tim Burton, though. What would it be, like a platformer?
Yeah, not a completely open world platformer, but not a linear, like kind of in between. Because if you look at the world of 9, it's massive, but I think that'd get too overwhelming and become like a lot of games I complain about. So I think I'd be a little hypocritical here. Not that no game can be like that. Like I said, I think there is a place for that. I just don't think this game would need that. I think it had to be like semi-open world. And yeah, I think like an adventure platformer, I think it'd be really cool. And if you don't know 9, they say this in the first couple minutes, so not really a spoiler, but they're sack creatures that look like Sackboy. I haven't got to my developer, but I almost did Media Molecule, the creators of Little Big Planet, but that seemed too easy. They do seem like a good fit, but I felt like that was almost too easy, so I went with somebody else. But in 9, these creatures, these sack creatures, all of them are powered by a scientist. The world was ending, which you could do a very cool flashback with like these War of World creatures that destroy the world of our planet.
Of Warcraft?
And they kind of touch on that in the movie, but just really quick. So you could have a really cool flashback and do a different kind of game there. And then there's one guy left in the world, and it's this scientist, and he puts his soul into these different creatures. So I think you could do something with that too, like the soul collecting or like trying to find new ones to keep the world running. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different things you could do.
So, do you know my sister has a 9 tattooed on her?
For that?
For the movie 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
She has Jack Skellington, the girl, 9.
I didn't.
Oysterhead. Yeah, she has like a bunch of like weird Tim Burton people.
Love 9.
It's really good too.
The developer I picked.
Yeah, I am really curious.
Okay,
I would have said the Little Big Planet people, so I don't know. Well, let me guess. Is it a PlayStation developer mainly?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Double Fine.
What do they make?
They one that you would know, but I don't think it's perfect. Well, maybe partly. Brutal Legend, but they did
okay.
Costume Quest and
Okay.
Psychonauts. So I think combining all these games,
okay.
they pretty much got 9, just a different art style. So I think they're perfect, like blend of humor, but also darkness and seriousness you need for something like 9. So that's what I went with.
Fucking awesome. That's a really good answer. I don't know if she has 9 specifically. She might have one of the other numbers. I'm trying to find a picture of her arm. I think she's a girl. She probably has like a Tats album.
Oh.
Silence. I'm just trying to find something. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. I'll read my next one while I'm looking for this.
Yeah. Looks like him. I know they all look kind of similar, but you can kind of tell by the facial features.
But the Beetlejuice shrunken head guy's back there. That's the Corpse Bride. She has Jack Skellington, and then some guy named Oyster Boy. Apparently, it's from a book he wrote or something.
Mm.
So she's got a whole Tim Burton half sleeve going on.
Very nice.
Yeah, I forgot that you love 9. I feel like I would have told you that earlier. So this one isn't cheating, but it's definitely cheaping out. Like it's super vague. My next ones are like really I thought them through really hard. But Bungie or no, Bungie specifically. Not Halo or Destiny, but that genre, whatever that is. Just give me a BR. I know it's cheap. I know. But
damn you.
I know. But it's the only thing I've been talking about for like a year. So I want Bungie to do it though. Whether that means it has to be a Destiny BR, whatever. I just want that space themed with those weapons. Like the Halo and Destiny weapons are incredible. Maybe the gunplay of Halo more than Destiny, because I like the gunplay of Halo a lot more. But that universe, just give me a battle royale.
No, I don't think that would be bad. I'm sure I'd play it. I just said damn you because I thought of a way of working Bungie in this, and it seemed too vague. And I thought you were literally saying what I was saying, like not Halo, not Destiny, but like a new world, and you're gonna go into it. And then I was like, oh,
no, I mean that would be cool too. But I want Bungie or like a team within Bungie, like Call of Duty outsourced to Raven to make Warzone, but Activision's still part of it. Like Bungie to maybe outsource to a smaller team, but they're totally hands-on to make a BR from one of those two worlds, if not a new world, just like those.
I hear you. I'm sure that'd be fun.
And free, obviously, be like a free-to-play battle royale only.
Bungie is working on something else. I doubt it's that. I know you probably don't think it is. I'm just saying I doubt it's that. Yeah. I'm wondering what it is that they're working on. And what I hope it is, and it's probably, well, I don't know. I think it's go either way. I hope it is something that's really world-focused like Destiny or Halo, but way more story-focused like Halo and more linear.
Yeah.
But
I hear Destiny's gotten better with their story, but that story is so fucking all over the place.
Yeah. And the more they add, the more confusing it gets.
And the harder it is to jump into it this late.
Yeah. So, on one hand, I think there's no way to go back to that kind of game. But on the other hand, they're still making Destiny, so I wouldn't be surprised. They're like, well, this team's like, I want to do something different. Destiny's all we do. I wouldn't be surprised workers are like, okay, let's do something completely. Even if it's still shooter, even if it's sci-fi, do something different.
Like a battle.
Bingo. No, I hear you.
So that's... I feel like my answers... I feel like... I don't know. I feel like I'm being cheap. Am I being cheap?
I mean, if you are, then I shouldn't be allowed in here.
There's a couple I've really thought out. A Skyrim Harry Potter game, a Halo type battle royale. So I don't know. I have one that's really well thought through though.
I hear you.
But that would be a new IP,
Yeah.
and you would call it Halo Destiny.
I was doing the opposite. I was
Lost.
doing D first. So I was doing the same exact thing, just different order.
Despacito.
Oh, and get Justin Bieber in on this shit?
And 100 Justin Biebers running around, and you're firing microphones at people, music notes out of microphones. But they're little clips. Baby, baby. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Ready for my next one?
I am.
This is a smaller team. I'm starting developer first. They're called Laopi Games.
Okay. Lay it on me.
They are known for making the Devil's Hunt game. And I think they can make a really cool Dead Girl game.
No fucking way that's serious.
No, definitely not. I had to look up who the developer was on the fly to do this. You said Dead Girl earlier.
Okay.
I was like, maybe it'll come
no
up.
Fucking way.
No. I think that can make for a very comical game like the movie, but no.
You should just play I Fuck the Devil or whatever the game is called.
Oh, that's what. Is that not what this is? I thought Devil's Hunt was that. I guess I just gave all the wrong info.
No, I think it's called like Sex with the Devil. I think it's like super spot on.
Well, all that was untrue. I searched Devil Steam game and this came up and it said gore and nudity and violence. So I was like, that's probably it.
No, I think it's called Sex with the Devil.
Well, that one. They need to make a Dead Girl game.
Okay.
But I guess I'll
skip
call an audible. Well, I'll call an audible.
Okay.
Because that one's too good. So my next one is Wreck-It Ralph, which I feel like is yeah, it's already a game, but
I was about to say, isn't that already a game?
Well, they do like really shitty,
like
DS games and stuff like that. But I mean, in the sense of the movie already feels like a game and works in game properties. But I think more the reason why I think it'd be unique is you were talking about the people that made It Takes Two. Hazelight Studios, I think, would be perfect for this game. And again,
they fucking nailed the aesthetic and feel of It Takes Two. I feel like sits really well with the Wreck-It Ralph type thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The humor, but also like the serious undertones.
Yeah.
And then the change in gameplays, which you could easily do in Wreck-It Ralph, going from like a kart racer to like the Donkey Kong ripoff with Fix It Felix. Do any of the, and you could jump to like different cables to go to different arcade games. So
it seems like those are different worlds and like levels or whatever. It seems like a pretty. Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't been done. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, if it's anything like Disney's taking Wreck-It Ralph, it seems like it's getting more boring. The second one was okay, but I thought the second one, if anything, they have so much more wiggle room with getting more properties, and they just went to a total different route. I was kind of disappointed.
My next one I think you'll like.
Okay.
I gotta look up something really quick before I say it, though. Okay. I would like a new puzzle game from Garage Games.
What do they make?
Marble Blast Ultra. That's all I have for it. I don't even know what the puzzle game would fucking be, but it would be physics-based. Have you seen the RTX demo, the ray tracing demo called Marbles?
Yeah.
And how it just looks fucking real?
Yeah.
Do it in that. Give me a physics fucking based puzzle game that has the fun feel of Marble Blast. We lost days to Marble Blast.
And we played multiplayer. And remember that? It's just Battle Royale Marble.
There's a fucking market for it. If you can make a Battle Royale Tetris or a Worms Battle Royale, you can make a Battle Royale of Marble.
It sucks that game's probably so of its time. Can you imagine a Marble game coming out and those lobbies that were in there, everybody get in and talk, and it was like actual social thing?
Dude.
Like, hey, what do you guys? How's you guys doing tonight? It's fucking marbles. We're just jumping around this board.
I think there's especially with the indie scene blowing up again, I think there's a space for them.
I hope so.
To thrive.
Are they even still in business?
Let me look.
Because, Marble Blast Ultra, if you haven't played it, I feel like it'd actually hold up completely fine.
I think it'd be fucking really fun.
Yeah.
It came out in 2003.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Garage Games is Still a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did it say if they put anything out?
No.
Like
Game development. No, not since 2008.
Mm.
So
They might be stuck in the garage.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what the puzzle game would be, but it'd be a physics-based puzzle game made by that developer.
I like where your head's at. What if you're like a random small object that rolled around and it's kind of like monkey ballish?
Okay.
Or a marble, maybe?
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be cool?
Sure.
All right. I'm in.
Okay.
We should go back and play Marble Blast Ultra together.
I will. I'm
So I
down.
think it would
I
hold
still have
up.
it on my hard drive for sure.
Me too.
Um,
All right. My next one is something that's definitely been done multiple times, but I think to a very small scale. I think it deserves better, but I don't know if it'll ever get better. And that is a lacrosse game by EA Sports, because what is it, Ant Studios, I think, makes the lacrosse games.
Isn't there a new one coming out by them?
Probably. They do one every couple of years.
Cricket is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh. And they're okay. You played it, right?
Yeah,
played
it's okay. The Casey Powell one?
Yeah, but you could tell if it was amplified and had the... Because I think they're good for what they're doing, but the studio is obviously so small and low budget.
Yeah.
I think you got somebody like EA behind it, even if there's no official teams or anything. I just think lacrosse is such a fun game to play, and I think one of the harder games to play in real life with people. So I think it'd be a fun game to translate to video games, not easy to play in real life.
Okay. So like a better Casey Powell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one's kind of straightforward.
Yeah. Very you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the one that is a complete obviously the ones I've named are new IPs, but they're kind of just games I really fucking want. This one I think is a completely new idea. So I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna do another one that is kind of just cheating. And I didn't even name one specific developer. I literally put someone like. Okay. So someone like Respawn, 343, or the Shadowrun dudes.
Sad day. Not them anymore.
Are they just dead or something? Do they not
They
exist?
closed the whole studio.
But are the human beings dead? Could they form a new studio?
Maybe.
I mean, we're talking about things we want, right? Let's say they get back.
Yeah, but they might have fucking splatted.
Get the gang back together. Make a tactical esports competitive shooter. Kind of like Valorant or CS, but less. I don't know. Those things are so. There's something. That is a genre. Whatever those two games are, and not like that, but similar. But if Respawn did it, they would make it movement based. So it's still probably a 4v4, 5v5, like Siege or Valorant or CS, but it's completely like the Titanfall movement. There's sliding, there's jumping, there's maybe not necessarily jump backs, but maybe there's wall riding. But being able to maneuver and the maps would be designed totally different would be your key to being better than other. That would be the skill gap.
Yeah.
So you have to have a skill gap in every game, right? Call of Duty gunplay is all the same pretty much. But if you are better at positioning, you're better at people in Call of Duty. Fortnite, if you can build, that's the skill gap. Valorant, the abilities, that's the skill gap. CS is just being really fucking good at shooting. So I think Respawn would be movement based.
Yeah.
And they have really good gunplay mechanics because they're Call of Duty people. 343, like an arena shooter. Imagine the Halo 5 beta as a competitive esports title. I think that'd be sweet as fuck. And the Shadowrun guys just make something called Shadowrun. That's literally what I put. Make something. Shadowrun guys make Shadowrun, but call it something else.
I'm with you. I don't think it'll ever happen. I know you don't either, but I think it should happen because I think that's a game that was ahead of its time and would be a fucking layup now.
Oh, it'd be so easy to make now. Well, I don't know, it'd be easy to make.
Yeah.
It would thrive.
I just don't think it will because I'm not disagreeing with that. I just don't think it'll ever happen because I love Shadowrun and it got fairly criticized for not having enough content, and some people just unfairly hated on it. But there's also a large portion of people that hate that game because that's not what Shadowrun ever was. Because it was around for 20 years before that, which I get.
Yeah.
And since then, and that's part of why the studio shut down, even though the game sold well, they went back to that and have made a lot of Shadowrun games in that style, and they've reviewed well. So I think that's a kind of thing now, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I would be down for, as long as it's like, because obviously I talked to you and the people, obviously, is that I want a game that I want to be competitive in. If one of those teams made a game, like an esports type title, I don't know how else to, I know it's a stupid term, but just like you can tell CS and Valorant are different types of shooters. Like it's different than Halo. So I don't know.
I know what you mean. Jelly bean.
That's what I would like from them.
Okay.
Or just pluck one guy from each of those teams and make all those things combined. Since I'll make something new.
There you go. NBA that shit, just steal everybody and
Yeah.
there you go. Super team.
Nets.
All right, my next one. This is a weird one, but stick with me.
Okay.
Basketball.
Okay.
And
like the like the actual sport of basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get Obsidian because they've already worked with the South Park guys.
Okay.
And I think it's not just stealing a sport. You also want basketball. You're not going to retell the story of the movie.
No. It's just literally the sport.
Yeah, but also the humor, but just not the lines from the movie. So like you have the psych outs in there.
Okay.
And you have the writing of South Park.
What if it was a multiplayer game and you had an open mic and
That'd
you did
awesome.
the psych outs?
Yeah. I'd be so okay with that. The only thing that would suck is their writing's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if that was a mode. Like they had, like, even maybe if it was like a campaign that you worked through, and then they narrated, and if you went online, you had to do it yourself. So I think
you can run into people like Squeaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think basketball looks like it'd be so much fucking fun, but it's not real. And then I don't feel like enough games are humorous, and South Park fucking nails it with their humor in those games. And Obsidian might just seem like the obvious choice because I worked with South Park, and I almost didn't pick them. But then I thought about it, I was like, Obsidian's done some really different style games and done pretty well with it. Like, what's the garden game? The garden game that is on Xbox.
Garden game?
Yeah, why am I blanking on this?
Garden Warfare.
No. They also did Outer Worlds, which is
yes, they did.
Very different from South Park, of course, but you're going to know I'm Grounded. That's what I'm
Grounded.
And that is way different than either of those. So I feel like they're all over the place and succeed in what they do in very different styles.
I would play the fuck out of that, for sure. You could totally do like a campaign. Maybe you could run into movie characters, but and online is just the game. Maybe you could even unlock different psych outs. That'd be fun.
Bring back the Uno cam and be like, oh, look, it's my dick. And they're, oh, what the fuck? And then shoot him, you know?
Yeah, I think this is all. That's a good idea. That'd be fun. It would never happen, but it would be fun.
You could do VR for your psych outs.
It seems like it could be a VR game.
Yeah.
That's a funny idea. So we each have one more?
Yep.
All right, so my last one, I went back and forth between the developer. I don't know what the developer is, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you the game. So it'd be the same game, but two genres would be totally different. So either the SOCOM guys, which is already a blast from the past, right?
Yeah, they're not around anymore either.
Yeah, I assumed. Or the Bad Company people, which I'm assuming also isn't a thing. DICE?
I was going to say, DICE is still around. I don't know if maybe like the
that team, whoever made Bad Company 1 and 2, is great. Those human beings. I need those humans. Or the SOCOM dudes. So either it'd be a humorous game, like a humor war game, or a realistic. But let me tell you about the game. So let's just go with SOCOM. Let's just go with SOCOM. You could think I would be the other way.
Okay.
So SOCOM people made a realistic open world war game. But the way it would be different than how do you even do an open world? Like there's an open world war game. How do you even do that? It would be an ongoing war. So like you get deployed out or whatever, and the way the game progresses, you're going through this fictional war. Because I wouldn't want to do like a war that's already happened because it's been done a million times. But a new world war, it would progress through day and night cycles. And I have a couple ways that you could go around with doing this. But there's realistic day and night cycles. You progress missions and objectives during the day, move like from area to area. There's probably big battles that'll take place, small battles here and there. But at night, you will be doing like sneak missions, rescuing maybe captured people, setting up base, fortifying, and then resting. But you can be interrupted at any time. And then the game progresses as you progress through the war, and however long it takes you to progress, is when the war would be over. But maybe like it would be like almost like a real time counter, maybe like actually day and night cycles. I don't know. That seems a little crazy, but it sounds cool. Also, I think SOCOM would be sweet. That also sounds like it'd be fucking really hard. So then I was like, well, what if it was like the Bad Company people, and it was like you're fucking around with your bros in war. I still think you could make a day and night fun, destructible environment war game that's ongoing like that too. And then I thought, what if it's a multiplayer game? Like Rust or whatever, how you have your base, and it could be, you can not be even looking at the game. You could be, but I can come and tech your shit. And if you did well, then I can't get in. If you don't, then I'm taking some of your shit and your people. But I think maybe that would be like a mode. But I think one of those, there'd be different games if it was, but I'm going to stick with SOCOM because that was my first one. So a realistic, real-time war game.
No, I'd be down for that.
Completely new IP.
Yeah.
And I think that sounds fucking cool.
No, it would be.
Yeah, I don't even know how it'd work, but I feel like the idea is there. But I would want to play that game.
No, I feel you.
That's it.
Okay.
I have a bonus one, but I'll tell that one after yours.
All right.
Unless you want me to just tell you my bonus one, then you go. I'll end it with mine. I'll end it.
Yeah, you're good. So, my last one has definitely been made into a game.
Okay.
But only once, I think very poorly. I think they did well for what they had, but the end product, no.
Oh.
The end product is just, you have to judge it for what it is. It's not great. And that is Lost. Because I think it's a perfect property for a game. And I think a great developer for it, and the one I was referencing earlier when I was talking about Harry Potter, bringing it back to that, is do you think CD Projekt would be a better team for that? Like,
for the Harry Potter game?
Yeah, more so judging The Witcher. I feel like that.
Maybe. Probably because I like The Witcher more than I liked Skyrim.
Because my mind with Lost went to BioWare first. I think they could do it well, but...
Is it because the main guy looks like Jack a little bit?
No, and his name's actually...
Shepard.
Yeah. But, no, not that.
Okay.
Because I think their storytelling is absolutely amazing, and their character building is really good. And I think that's kind of the basis of Lost, even though there's way more interesting stuff in it, Lost. But then, I'm sure it'd be different now if they made it modernized, but even though their storytelling's really well and their character building's so good, the conversation is so clunky because it's an open world and you can talk to so many people. So I feel like you run into the issue of the actual real Lost game where these conversations just sound kind of awkward. And you can't have that in Lost because that's what made Lost so good, is how like emotional and real the conversation sounded. And so I feel like CD Projekt would be a lot more capable of handling that.
They would be better for the Harry Potter game too.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
Okay. I was just wondering because, like I said, my mind went somewhere else initially with this too, so that's why I thought
good.
Maybe that'd be good. Oh, thank you.
They kind of need a bounce back game too.
Yeah.
Again, I've said this before. I think Cyberpunk was incredible, but my God, did their name get just drugged through the mud? Those poor bastards. They fucked up too, but
yeah, a lot of it's on them. So yeah, it's hard to feel bad, and I almost didn't put them on here because I know that a lot of it seems fucked up and kind of intentionally their fault. So
they definitely fucked up. I think they know that, but I hope they bounce back because The Witcher's incredible, Cyberpunk's incredible. They need a bounce back game.
And I think Lost would have to be somewhat big because the island and going to different things, but it would never need to be as big as Cyberpunk or The Witcher.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could focus a lot more on the detail and the characters and the storytelling. You didn't have to make this massively huge open world.
Dude, the side shit in Cyberpunk is so fucking good. Same with The Witcher. That's what everybody talks about.
Yeah.
The way they could develop either one of those worlds, Harry Potter or Lost, would just be so fucking good. Oh. Yeah, they're so much better than Skyrim. I'm glad you said that. I would much rather have Project Red do it.
That was my last one, though, if you want to tell your bonus.
Well, I had 5, but I had a bonus. This one is definitely cheating.
Okay.
But this mode in Call of Duty is so fucking fun, it needs its own game. I don't know how you would do it. But the gun game, the 2v2 mode, the Infinity Ward makes the gun game in Call of Duty, the 2v2 mode, with each team having random loadouts, a full esports competitive game. I don't know how you would do it, or how that would even be a full game. But maybe you make it free to play or whatever. But they have tournaments in that shit, and it's bracket style, and they should just be running those all the time. Maybe it's like a thing on Xbox or on PC of like there's like leaderboards and there's like shit to play for. You could always update it with new guns, new weapons, new blueprints, new things to play for. But in Fortnite, there are in-game tournaments for money every day, I think. You could do that with this. A 2v2, you could have a 3v3 or a 1v1 mode. Because as soon as you get into 4v4, you're just playing team deathmatch or whatever. But a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and then you just run wild with that. New maps, new areas, new guns, new characters. And maybe you can, since it's Infinity Ward, you'd be unlocking shit in Call of Duty or Warzone or whatever. Dude, I would play the fuck out of that every day, and I would be super into the brackets. Because some of the funnest times in recent online gaming memory is carrying my old friend Bill through a whole ass tournament and winning it, and he got like 1 kill and I got like over 100 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, or me and Cody being down like 5-1 and coming back and winning 6-5 and like the finals of a and winning shit you can only win. Like, the rewards sucked, so you'd have to make the rewards way better. But like we have stuff now you can only win by winning those gunfight tournaments. Gunfight, that's what it's called, not gun game. Gun game's a different mode, but gunfight, and that's what you would call it, just gunfight. And it's just a free shooter that is a competitive title in the sense that it's just for tournaments. You're only playing, like, maybe there's a casual mode, but mainly there's the ranked mode that you're playing in. I would gobble that game up. That would be, that gets me hot thinking about it. If all of these games came out, I would be fucking ecstatic.
I think that's what we're going to get in XC3.
All these games?
Both of ours, yep. I think this is the E3. He's announced early.
That would be fucking sweet. I really hope Hogwarts Legacy is what I want out of this. Obviously, Project Red now, so. But yeah, that Call of Duty game would be so fucking sweet. Maybe that's what Respawn needs to make instead of making like that one I said earlier. Like, they need maybe that's what they should do. I mean, I'll just combine those two, so it's not a bonus. Gunfight. That's even a good fucking title. Hey, do you want to play a gunfight? Yeah. It's crossplay. Daddy.
You done?
Are you a little hot by it? God, I'm like turned on.
No.
I only get 1 BR. That's pretty good for me. Multiple shooters, but 1 BR.
Battle rifle?
1 battle rifle. And most of my sequels that I wanted were story-based games.
Look at that.
Look at me.
I think you know where you need to go back to.
I've tried. I'll talk about that on what we've been playing.
Okay. Speaking of what we've been playing, if you have any corrections, question, or feedback, you can send to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. And then we can get into the news here.
Ooh. So this can be a little different than normal.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any. But we have some that we're just going to free ball.
I love free balling. So we could start with a Steam Deck. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, there's a Steam Deck coming out.
What is that?
I don't know. It's a handheld PC that is running the Steam OS, which is essentially Windows. But if you hate Steam OS, you can install Windows on this thing. So, based off my memory, which of watching the conference one time, so this stuff might be fact-checked. You might need to fact-check this. It's a 7-inch screen. It comes in 3 variants of size. Well, they're all the same size, but the memory. And I think they go up in price: $399, $599, $799, and it's 64 gigs, 256, and 512. I believe.
Trying to get it here. It keeps autocorrecting it to Stream Deck.
Yeah, that's Elgato's Stream Deck.
Yeah,
They just came out with a new one of those as well. But I'm pretty sure that information's correct. So I'll just keep going.
So I think this is what it is. I can remember. So you said 399, 529, 649.
Oh no, I was off.
640 gigabyte or 640, 256 and 512 for the gigabytes.
So I was right on the gigabytes. The pricing I was wrong on. 399, 529, 649.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a 7-inch thing. I think it's 720p, which seems shitty. But I think max because you can customize every game like you can on PC, so you can do max settings at 720p, and on 7 inches that looks really good, is what they're saying. If you hate SteamOS, you can put Windows on it and just run it like a computer. It can run any program that a PC can run. So it has Steam, obviously. You can put Game Pass on it, like the Game Pass app. PlayStation Now, Epic Games, Blizzard. You can play all those games. How well they run will be different, obviously. But all those things can be put on it and can be played. And that was like their big selling point. This thing sounds incredible. It sounds like you're going to need one of the bigger ones. And it also sounds like the battery's going to get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, it is a 7-inch screen. And like you said, all of them are the same, except if you buy the cheapest one, then you're not getting nearly as good of. They said the glass is not nearly as protective. It's a way stronger glass on the other two.
Okay.
And it's way slower at loading, I guess. Whatever.
Because that has a SSD. The other two have M.2 drives, NVMe's.
Okay. Then what else did you say there?
720p. It can be docked.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need they're working on a fancy dock, but any USB-C to your TV or whatever can go to it. So you don't need to spend a bunch extra there. It has an SD slot, so you can upgrade memory that way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They said as of right now you can't. Well, they said it's not planned for you to be able to upgrade the storage, in the sense of like taking out the hard drive, putting in a bigger one. But they give you SD, and they also kind of wavered on that point. Like maybe you could break in there and upgrade it. I'm sure you could if it's just an M.2 drive.
Yeah, they probably just don't want you to avoid the warranty or break it.
So this thing seems really cool, just for the fact that it looks pretty cool too. It has paddles on the back, like extra like it has your, I think it's an Xbox layout, A, B, X, Y. The sticks are right here, like instead of Xbox, they're at the top. For listeners, I'm at the top of the handheld thing, like toward the middle. It has the triggers on top, and it has 4 paddles on the back that you can program to whatever you want. The biggest reason that I think this thing is going to be successful is because you can put Windows on it, and you can run any of those things, as long as you can run it well. Because if this thing can run Game Pass and Blizzard and Epic Games and Steam, and I can play any of those games, playing Warzone on my shitter sounds pretty nice. I'm gonna be honest with you. And it has what's that thing that Xbox has where you can turn off your Xbox, turn it back on later. You're at the same spot. Quick resume. It has that. So if I'm playing on my PC, I don't know why I'm pointing to this because that's your PC, I guess. If you're playing on PC, you turn off your computer, you go to your thing, you're at the same spot. So that's pretty fucking cool. I think that's probably only for the Steam games, though. I'm assuming that wouldn't be for Game Pass and shit. But for Steam games, if you have a strong PC, I don't know why you'd buy this, because it's just a PC. Maybe if you are really into handheld gaming and you want the quick resume stuff, and maybe you share a PC with someone. If I'm playing games on my PC, I'm downstairs on my PC. No one else uses it, to where I'd be like, oh shit, let me just go keep playing this. But I guess there'd be a lot of times I'd want to go upstairs and play the game that I'm playing. So it's tough. I could see myself wanting one pretty bad. But I'm definitely not going to buy the first iteration of it. So I'm assuming it'll only get better, because they already said they want to expand on it and make it better. meaning there'll be new iterations of it. I'm just gonna keep rambling until you're ready to talk.
Good.
I think this is coming out at a good time. As I said to you before the podcast, I think Switch needs a competitor because they need to make some changes instead of an OLED screen and an Ethernet port. So I hope, if anything, this makes Switch maybe actually come out with a Pro version. So those are all of my thoughts on it. I didn't pre-order one. The idea of having one is cool. But I think it's going to be kind of clunky and the battery's going to suck ass. But I think it's going to be really cool as long as it works the way it's advertised.
I got a lot of thoughts as well.
Okay.
I'm
actually winded saying that.
First off, I hope you're right that this makes Switch rethink some things, because if you listen or watch this, I've said the same thing, that I'm not sure Nintendo's decisions seem odd. But at the same time, I don't know if Nintendo's really competing with anybody else, so I don't know if they really give a shit. Especially if they keep selling well. They're going, okay, this thing's more powerful, whatever. We're still selling millions and selling out everywhere. So
it just needs a real competitor, and this seems like the first real competitor.
Oh, no, I agree, and it seems like they're doing a lot of things better. I just don't know if Nintendo cares.
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
If they keep selling millions.
Well, we have Mario.
Yeah,
Okay.
Think about how much better the Xbox and PlayStation, obviously PCs are, and Nintendo's not like, oh shit, we need to do something about this, which I think is a mistake, but they're selling millions, so.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's weird because I line up with some of your reviews, but I'm completely different at the same time. I actually think this thing looks fucking hideous. I'm surprised
really?
people are so high on it, as far as aesthetic.
Oh yeah, I think it looks better than the Switch.
Yeah, I am shocked by that. It looks like if somebody made a Game Gear, but right now.
It does look like a Game Gear.
And I'm surprised people aren't mocking that more. And then there's these two things, I don't think you said underneath the control or the joysticks, like to resemble
their
mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have on the Steam controller. I think the button layout is really fucking weird. I don't like the joysticks at the top. That seems odd to me. And then the button's like stuck in the corner. Seems like that'd be real awkward to play with. Obviously, this is all kind of stuff once you play it, you'll know better.
Did you watch the IGN hands-on?
Yeah, that's something I'll get to in a minute.
Okay. It just all seemed really natural, all your hands up there. So,
I think the buttons on the back are a cool idea, but everything looks so compressed together that I wonder, especially on handheld, how much you're just going to press those without even thinking about it. I'm sure with this being a mobile PC, you could deactivate those, but if they're essential to things and they are just easy to accidentally press, I think that'd be real annoying.
I'm sure they have a feature just like controllers have paddles back there. I'm sure they have a way to. I hit those all the time.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times I don't even use them, because I think they're more annoying than they are helpful.
That's also part of the reason that I want to wait after the first iteration, because maybe that will be an issue, and they're like, okay, well maybe we need to move them or make them stick out more or something.
Yeah, and so I guess I should have started with, I think the idea of this is really cool. I'm just wondering the execution, and then a lot of things that I do think are weird about, like I said, the aesthetics of it. And I did watch IGN's thing, and they praised it a bunch and didn't really say anything bad about it. But I feel like that was so clearly controlled by Valve. Like it was in their studios. IGN had the exclusive on it. And I feel like if they
I don't even care about IGN's opinion. It's just them actually using it looked really natural. And them holding it, like everything looked really like, oh, that makes sense why that's right there. Because when you reach, it's just right there.
I just wonder, especially when he was talking about, he's like, in the thing that the mouse pad, whatever you want to call it. He's like, I thought I would never want to use this. And then when I used it, it feels just like using a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, there's no way.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like with exciting stuff, people get so caught up in it that they don't really think about the negatives and think about the downsides. I think the battery life, it's already bad on the Switch. I think this is going to be a whole nother level.
Yeah, I think it's going to be miserable.
And then I'm not really sure who this is for, even more so than you said, which I know you said a little bit, but I think most people have a strong PC are going to laugh at this thing. And then
they're mixed.
Yeah.
The PC community, yeah.
And then people that don't care about having a top-end PC and be like, well, why do I need this? I have a Switch. So I think
Well, I think they would want it because they can play games they wouldn't be able to.
I think obviously there's going to be a market for it, but I wonder how big it is. 'Cause I think majority of people aren't going to see it like we would or care about that. And I also, yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that feels very controlled right now. I feel like once it's in people's hands, we're going to see a lot more of the negatives because it just seems too good to be true right now.
Definitely, yeah.
And there's already reporting now that it's not just from IGN, that there's many current games, not like top end games, that can't run on it.
That's my big concern. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, you can load all these things on it. I'm sure you can. But can I play Warzone on it?
Yeah.
I fucking doubt it.
Yeah, and there was games that were not nearly as strong as that they said it won't run on it at all, and not just like aren't compatible. They said,
and they kept dodging what's in it. Like they would be like, there's 16 gigs of RAM, I think, which Warzone uses more than that. So I'm just gonna keep using Warzone because it's the game that everybody plays, right? And they kept saying it's the newest architecture of the graphics cards and the newest architecture of the chip of the CPUs, which doesn't fucking mean anything. Just because you have the new architecture doesn't mean it's powerful at all. So I'm a little worried that it's pretty weak in there.
yeah, and I think the pricing is probably fair for what this is, but if you are trying to market against the Switch or something,
it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, especially because it sounds like the 400 is kind of like a cheap model, so like the loading is real bad, and then
maybe compared to
yeah, and the memory isn't as big a deal since you can use a slot, but if not, then that takes you up to $529, and obviously that's before tax. So you're looking
you can
at
get a PC for $520.
yeah, and so you're looking at like $600, and I know that part of the appeal is that it's cool is that, like you said, you can kind of turn into a Switch where it does become a PC. But at that point, like I said, then it just seems like, what is this for? Like the market for it just seems so weird.
Yeah, it feels like I think it's made for PC gamers, but like the appeal is also to non-PC gamers in the sense that we'll just get a nice monitor and this is your desktop. You just bought a computer. You can run Windows on it. You can run any program. You can hook up to a nice high refresh rate monitor and play any game on it. So maybe it's for the people that like love handheld gaming, but like want a PC game, but don't want to buy a PC. I don't know. I think it's made for PC gamers in the sense that we have quick resume. If you're playing downstairs on your computer, you want to go upstairs, you still have it right there. I think maybe that's the market, but I am not going to buy one. The idea of it's cool.
Oh yeah, I love. No matter the negatives I have about it and the doubts I have about it, I hope I'm wrong about all those, and I think the idea of it's cool no matter what. I just think
I hope it turns out sweet, yeah, because I will get one if it works. But if 720p is pretty rough, and not saying what's in it is just so confusing, and the price point's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of factors, and like I said, I think when you see in real world terms, you're gonna see it fall apart a lot more. Not that it's gonna be trash or the complete line. I just think I'm not trying to be negative. I just feel like I've learned my lesson with these things so many times. Like the first time we saw Connect, we were like mind blown. Like, what? You can do that, and you can hand a skateboard up, and yeah, and so I feel like I just fall in these traps too many times, and now I gotta be like, okay, this is a cool idea, but it's not what you're presenting it. There's gonna be, I think the quick resume thing sounds
only work
cool
with Steam. That will work because that already works on Steam.
You don't think there'll be any hiccups or like lag or?
I think it'll be like Xbox where it works 95% of the time. I don't think it'll run as smooth as it runs on your PC, obviously, but I think cloud saving is just like a standard at this point. It reminds me of the Vita.
Without an OLED screen, ironically, they don't have an OLED screen.
Know. Yeah, so I think there's gonna be a market for it, and the Vita should have been successful.
Oh yeah, Sony's one that fucked that up.
And then
hardware is super impressive.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of hoping it's like one of those things that like, oh yeah, we said it's gonna be this, and it is this.
Oh, I hope so too.
I like the design of it, and I think the feel looks good in someone's hands. So I think it looks good to me anyway. I think with big hands, it looks. If you had tiny hands, I think it's gonna suck ass. But yeah, I haven't touched it, so I don't know. Pre-sales went out immediately. They're on eBay for $2,000-$3,000. So go scalpers. I'm interested to see it when it comes out. Again, I'm not going to buy one off the rip. I probably won't even buy the first iteration of it, but I probably won't buy one at all. I'll probably just keep upgrading my PC, but
Yeah, I hear Steam has a history, or Valve has this history of getting real hyped about things and then letting them drift away or
especially
stop
physical
supporting them.
things. Yeah.
So
'Cause I'm sure there's articles why this will be different.
yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah, so
No, I hope for the best. I just have my doubts.
that's fair, as you should, as there will be. Yeah.
And then the next thing is I should have put it actually in here. I thought I did the Definity?
X-Defiant.
Defiant.
So Ubisoft announced their new free-to-play shooter.
Terrible name.
Awful name. X-Defiant. X-D-E-F. I-A-N-T. X-Defiant. Awful name. Looks cool.
Does.
It's kind of like what I was talking about, ironically. It's kind of funny because I had that list and then that came out a couple days later. I was like, Ubisoft is the last company I want to do that. But Mark Rubin is the guy that made Modern Warfare 3, or is one of the lead designs on Modern Warfare 3 and Ghosts. And he is doing the gun stuff in this game. So I think gunplay is going to feel real good. But I think they said 6v6?
I said 4v4. But
Sure. Let's say 5v5 and just both be wrong, but right in the middle. It's one of those three. I think it's 4v4. You're right. But it's a tactical shooter with strong gunplay at its core. Is what they kept emphasizing, that gunplay is the number one thing. And there's tons of weapons and and options. But there'll be different classes, and they'll have different abilities and power ups, like a hero in Apex or something, like bubble shields and gas and invisibility, and so it just looks like one of those tactical shooters that looks like it could be an esports title, but it's made by Ubisoft, so it won't be, unfortunately. Isn't Rainbow Siege Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Oh, so fuck me, I could be wrong. Siege is hugely popular in that scene, so maybe it could be, and it looks cool. I'm definitely gonna play it. I signed up for the beta. You can sign up for it at playxdefiant.com.
No, I actually am surprisingly excited for this. When I saw it was announced, I ignored it because Sam Fisher's in it from Splinter Cell.
He is in it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I assumed this was the same thing I feel like I've seen announced 6 times at Ubisoft press conferences, where this weird mixed mash of Ubisoft characters and Sam Fisher's in there. Yeah. I guess the last time they did that, you said it was a mobile game.
Yep.
And they just keep throwing Sam Fisher in all these weird scenarios and not having
teasing him and
Splinter Cell.
not just giving us fucking Splinter Cell.
Yeah, they had that Splinter Cell animated show coming to Netflix. And
do they?
Yep. And maybe an anime. But yeah, something with Splinter Cell. But yeah, this looks surprisingly cool.
I'm definitely going to play it. Probably quite a bit.
I think it's either going to... I think it'll be fun either way for me. I think it's either going to be a real hit or miss game, something they abandon within a year, or it's going to be the next, not big thing, but another...
Yeah, well, when you talk about the big games, that one could definitely be in it. It feels like it's going to fade like Apex. Like, Apex is still a thing, and it's pretty popular, but there's definitely a hype period for it, and then now it has like its core community. I feel like it'll be like the same thing with Siege, actually. It was like this big thing, and it's still wildly popular, but like it has a core community. It'll probably be a little bit bigger, at least at the start. I hope so. I don't know. It could suck ass. If they announce no skill-based matchmaking, and they announce it has a ranked mode with skill-based matchmaking, it will have my full attention. Like, if I can go into the casual playlist and just stomp on motherfuckers, assuming I'm good at it, awesome. And if I want to get sweaty, hop over to ranked mode and sweat my dick off.
Oh.
Just dick sweat everywhere.
Wow. So sweaty as you can. Come on.
Yep. And then I'll eat it. And I'll regrow it. So, I think this game looks pretty cool. You guys should check it out.
Be defiant about X-Defiant?
Is it PC only?
No.
Okay.
That's probably... I'm sure it's probably where the beta starts.
That is true. No. You can choose what you sign up for. I know that now. It's on everything. I think it's even on Switch.
It's not on Switch, but it is on Stadia. It's on PC, Google Stadia, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series.
Weird.
The Beta will begin August 5th only on PC.
Oh, okay.
So it
Thank
will.
God. You should sign up for it. I guarantee your computer can run it on low settings.
Hey, maybe we'll see. About that.
How about that?
You said you want to talk about Warzone?
Oh, yeah. So we talked last week about the Season 4 Reloaded content coming. I haven't played the new payload mode. Nobody has, because I don't think they put it out.
Oh, yeah?
So there's that. The game is more broken now than it was last week. Glitches everywhere. They made it to where, and this is cool, and if Nick listens to these, he's going to love this. You can edit your fucking loadout before you go into the match now. Like in Plunder. So, not while you're in the game, but before the game, you can edit your loadout. He always wanted that feature. But it was making people invisible and having unlimited dead silence to where you're just always dead silent. That might have been actually removed. But those features are getting close. There's new skill streaks that are breaking things. People are under the map. The hackers are everywhere. Everywhere. It's ridiculous. So, that game's kind of fucking shitty right now. Like, I still don't want to play it. I went on to play some Cold War. Just Cold War. And I was like, I just fucking can't play this game. Can't play anything about Call of Duty right now. I have no interest. So, it's just in a sad state. I wanted to keep bringing that up.
All right.
Because my voice is going to be heard to Activision on the show. So they can fix their game.
Yeah. Fucking Reach right there.
Halo. Reach.
And then you said you want to talk about Skate.
It was teased. Did you see it?
Yeah. They said it will not be at EA Play, though.
Fuck it. They said, but they're working very hard, and some people have seen gameplay. So it is just nice. In games I'm fucking excited about, Skate, which I've been talking about for a long time, and Hogwarts Legacy. At least we know people have seen fucking gameplay of Skate. And the team is a thing. They developed a team. They have a name. It's a good name for a skateboard company. I don't know what it's called. You, by any chance, off the top of your head? Or right there in front of you?
No. I was looking at something else for here that I'll get to in a second. Let me look.
I'll just keep chit-chatting about it.
Go for it.
But they have a full team now. They're working really hard. People have seen gameplay. And we're going to see something hopefully soon, they said. I'm just very fucking excited about that game. I love Skate.
So, that's the original Skate. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is
It's not that
now.
important. It's a little guy with a little hat and says something.
I was looking, is connected to what we were talking about. EA Play Live is
Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday, July 22nd. Pre-show starts at 1. Doesn't say when the show's going to start, but soon after that, I'd imagine.
Oh, I thought pre-show started earlier. I think the show started at 1. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, it says the pre-show begins at 1 p.m. our time, so you might have seen a different time zone. So I won't be able to watch it, but I'll either catch the news or ignore it, so that way I can watch it live, Yeah. So I was saying about...
You're just going to make it like an awkward cut and then you just go right back into it?
I was just going to do that like it. I was being cute with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're here now. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
Now you ruined my clean transition. Full Circle is the name of the skate studio.
Yes. The logo is really cool. Well, for skate.
I'm a skater. Boy. The only other thing I had was the Jackass Forever trailer came out today. Did you watch it? No?
No. Well, I saw it. I was out picking up my new PC case.
It made me happy. I can't wait to see it.
They did like a trip down memory lane, right? That's how it started. Like it was like
a little
showing
bit.
the old
Yeah.
I saw like a first little snippet of it.
I knew I was gonna be excited for it. It looks like more Jackass. There's nothing like, oh my god. It just looks more of the same. What I didn't expect is when that theme song kicked in, how it just instantly take me back.
Is that the blam 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 blam?
And then it gets like over top of Oh man, it just transported me out. I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy. And then I got very unhappy when they showed Tarantula. And I was like, oh shit, I don't know. Out of all this shit I've seen on here, somehow I don't remember ever seeing spiders, which is weird.
I'm sure there has been.
I don't remember.
No?
I know there's snakes all the time because Bam hated them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just didn't spider seems like such an obvious thing because so many people hate him. But I don't remember anything. Don't you show me shit that you're looking at.
I'm not.
So that's gonna suck ass because you're talking about how you can't. We're recording, by the way, right? Just make okay.
Yeah, dude, there's all kinds of stuff.
Is there?
Yeah.
I used to not mind spiders, but I think by the time I was watching Jackass, I hated him.
Yeah, Steve-O ate a black widow.
Huh.
Wait, what's this? What the fuck? Stupid.
So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because we were joking about how you can't really watch like the super gross stuff. That's gonna be me. I'm literally just gonna close my eyes during that part, which sucks because I love Jackass. But as soon as I saw it, I kind of did the thing where I was like watching but not watching. Oh, god damn it! I was real upset. But that's all I had for. Just check out the Jackass trailer.
Oh, I'll watch it for sure.
Okay. Should we backtrack a little bit here? We totally didn't read the second email.
Oh shit!
Did
the spiders made you think of it?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, for sure. I know Casey mentioned fear of spiders. What are some things in games that scare you? And do your real life fears carry over to gaming? My only fear, this is from James Sasquatch. My only fear that carries over is scorpions. They can all die in a fire. Do you think he was a fan of the Scorpion King?
You know, I don't know. Maybe he's like me. Maybe he loved that movie. I used to.
Or the wrestler Scorpion? The wrestler, right?
You're thinking of
There's a
Sting,
move.
but it's.
There's a move. There's something in wrestling called the Scorpion. Maybe it's when you get Scorpion in your head, your legs go over your head.
Yeah, it makes sense as Sting because that's the whole, you know, not like the singer. But I used to. I don't know if I told you this. I used to love spiders. Like, to the point where at COSI, I let a tarantula crawl up my arm. I thought they were so cool.
Super weird.
I used to, Arachnophobia, that movie. I used to watch it on repeat. I loved it.
With, no, it's Eight-Legged Freaks I was thinking of.
Yeah, once that movie came out, well, before that, but I couldn't even watch that movie. I knew that movie was so stupid and fake, but there was this weird transition where I went from thinking they were cool to my most feared thing in the world.
That's weird.
And usually there's, like, something like this happened, like, you would think that maybe a tarantula crawl on me would have done it, or maybe he bit me, and I'm like, nope. But the only thing I can think of at all, but still didn't make sense to me, when, I don't know what age I was, because I liked him when I was younger, I killed a rather big spider, not huge, but big for where we live, and then I smashed it, and then like 100 other spiders crawled out of it because it was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Which you'd be like, well, yeah, that was definitely it. But I love spiders, and I watch movies with tons of spiders. So if anything, you'd be like, oh, it's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember right then being like, yep, I hate them now. So there was nothing. That's the only thing I could think. Maybe self-consciously, like it just got in my head. And I hate them because I don't remember that being something I hated at the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I don't know. Maybe he's like me in the way that he loved the Scorpion King, even though he hates scorpions. James, let us know if you like the Scorpion King.
No.
It's an okay movie.
Is that The Rock?
Yeah.
Sucked.
It was
the one with the really good CGI?
Maybe that's why I liked it. I loved The Mummy first off.
Okay.
And then I expect that movie to be shit. I watched it ironically. So maybe my expectations were so low. I was like, hey, that wasn't bad. I'm sure it would not hold up in the slightest now.
I was about to say, I think I saw it later in life, so.
Oh. Yeah, I saw it around when it came out.
Yeah.
So let's do you first. Yeah.
Well, I fucking somehow missed this part in the email, or would have had a really good answer. But real life fears. I'm trying to think of what fears I have. Pretty fearless guy, kind of like Taylor Swift.
Oh.
No fears. I'm afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a giant pussy. Yeah.
Right.
I have this weird love-hate with some fears. Like I hate heights, but I love heights. We've talked about that.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
The dark scares me, but I like love it. I want to like go ghost hunting or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that sounds really fun to me. I'm really claustrophobic. But that has never affected any game. Darkness has never affected me in games. Claustrophobia has never affected me in games. Heights has definitely never affected me in games. The only thing that's really scared me in games, I don't know. I don't even know how to like explain it. Hellblade isn't scary. It's supposed to be a scary game. Game terrifies me because of the voices. If you make it seem like there's someone in with me and that I know there's not supposed to be, then I get scared. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. There's like some horror games that do it, but there's no like real life fears that really carry over into that, I guess. I don't know what causes that. So I don't know how to rightfully answer this question, but I'm cool with spiders. I'm cool with. I don't really like snakes or spiders, but like if they're in games, I'm cool with it. I could care less about scorpions. I wouldn't want to see one in real life or fuck with one at all. The idea of Australia scares the shit out of me because of spiders and scorpions. Really, just any large thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know of any fears.
Okay.
Demonic things scare me, and games about that kind of scare me. So,
all right,
that's all I got.
I guess
a non-answer.
I kind of position it the way you did. List some of my fears first. Heights scare me in the way they do and they don't for me because if I'm in control, I am terrified of heights. If I'm like even on a ladder any taller than 4 feet, I get shaky. If I like climb up on a house to put on Christmas lights, I can't. That's a no-go, which is like 4 feet to the house being like, what is that, like 60 feet maybe?
Probably not even that high.
Yeah, but then roller coaster, I'm like, oh, take me up 400 feet.
Yeah.
Buildings, like I went in the tallest buildings in America. I fucking love it. So when I'm not in control and it feels safe to me, I want to get as high as I can. But when it's me in control, I want to stay low as ground as I can because I don't trust myself. Definitely spiders. Centipedes or silverfish. Those are a no-go. There's plenty of things like scorpions or snakes that, if I encountered them, I wouldn't want to be close, but I actually think those are cool. Not even just I think they're cool to look at, but I would never want to be around them. But I'm not scared of them in the way like I can't see them or something like I am spiders or centipedes.
Okay.
Definitely drowning because I don't know how to swim. Oh. Even though I get in the ocean, which is kind of just like, hey, I'm kind of committing suicide here, but a potential suicide, but I do it anyways. All I can really think of.
Does that carry over into games? Like, does swimming in games scare you?
It doesn't. That one doesn't scare me at all. Even games that are completely underwater don't bother me, besides the fact that majority of games underwater suck ass is the only thing that really bothers me. They just control horrendously, but not fearing in the way that we're talking about. Spiders transitions 100% into any media. Like I said, even in Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, where I know they're fake and they look like comical. And they're so big that unless it's Australia, they couldn't be real. But those give me, I just can't even fucking think about it. And centipedes, you don't really see them often, or silverfish, but they don't bother me in games unless I've noticed I played a game in VR and they started like crawling on what would be your face. That definitely bothered me.
Okay.
It was in Resident Evil 7. You're like going through this tight corridor, and then they're like coming off the walls onto you. So I wasn't a fan of that.
I think VR would fuck with me a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I had to crawl through small spaces.
Oh, yeah, I am claustrophobic as well, but that doesn't bother me in video games. Height usually doesn't bother me in video games. I notice it has sometimes in VR, but I don't really know if that's height or if that's because VR games aren't always optimized and they get a little wonky, especially with height. So I don't know if it's necessarily me being scared of the height or the VR kind of fucking with you. So I think that's all it is for me is spiders in any sense. Potentially heights is however you want to look at that, and centipede / silverfish if you're playing VR, at least as of now. And then there's obviously jump scares and like generic things that have gotten me, but not like general fears.
Okay. Yeah, I think my only real fear that could translate would be like something demonic.
Yeah. What about spoilers a little bit here? when we were playing Dark Pictures, the first one, and it was kind of demonic-ish, but when the part in particular when you're like, "Oh, is that you?" and I was like, you're like a fucking zombie," and I was coming to the doorway, remember? And I was like, "No, it's just me," and you were about to shank me, and there's this giant monster staring you in the face.
Yeah. No, like that part was just kind of cool, like, with the way they did it. No, demonic.
I know it's not necessarily like devil, but you know,
like that for that stuff to scare me would be like. That's why it's tough, because growing up in a religious background, I feel like that I just have like this very deep belief in the spiritual realm. So if you do that realistically and portray demonic possession, or like, I feel like ghosts are lumped into this, but I don't believe in ghosts. I figured out how to say what I believe in ghosts, by the way, because I always say, I don't believe in ghosts, but I like learning about ghosts. I'm open-minded, but I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in them. I'm skeptical, but I'm open-minded. So, like, that shit can scare me if it's done right. So that type of stuff, ghosty, demonic-y, possession-y. Those are the only type of horror movies that scare me too. Except for like the obvious jump scares, but that just scares anybody.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a fear. So like that part in Dark Pictures was cool. It had like a little scare factor to it, but that was like a different type of scare. That was like a, how the fuck did they pull that off?
Yeah.
Like why aren't we seeing the same thing? I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's pretty tough for games to scare me.
I gotcha.
Unless it's like a made to scare you game, like Outlast, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That it then?
Yeah, I was really long-winded just to not really answer the question for me. So
Oh no, you're good. Well, as always, you can send any corrections, question, or feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. I think we nailed that segment. But
yeah,
out of order or anything.
Nope. I
Yeah,
love the questions, by the way.
Oh yeah, they were good, James. Thank you. Sorry they took so long, but feel free to write any more if you want, and anybody else as well.
If I'm here next week, I'd love to see more.
You have any media pickups?
No. I bought a new PC case.
Yeah,
That's
counts.
like kind of like.
Yeah.
So I've been having a little bit of airflow issue with my current case. So the front of it is completely, like, there's two fans in the front, right? But the front is solid. So what the fuck, where the air is supposed to come from? So I bought a new case with a shitload of airflow, and I can fit more fans in it. So I currently have that assembled, but my other case completely disassembled all over my floor. So after this, I have to go home and clean that up and make sure the other PC is even working. So, but that's all I have for that, for physically purchasing something.
I gotcha. Yeah, mine's even more disconnected from physical gaming. But I bought tickets to Last Stand Media Live in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's the first time I've heard of Butler, Pennsylvania. But I'm going there in, what was that? September?
That was August.
August.
I don't know. No, it is September. You're right.
Okay. But that's me and Cody talked about all the time on here, and you a little bit with Defining Duke.
Yep.
But it's Sacred Symbols. Colin Moriarty is the main guy that me and Cody have followed forever. So got tickets. I can't wait to go to that. Should be really exciting. I'm excited.
Good.
That's the only media pickup I have, though. So what have you been playing?
A plethora of things.
Oh.
I started Tropica 6.
Mm-hmm.
Uninstalled it. I want to love. So many times I've downloaded these games and I want to love them. The idea of them amazes me. The functionality of them kills me. I can't get into it. It sucks. So yeah, that's gone. I played it for a couple hours though. I played some Clone Hero for about 5 hours the other night. Loved it. And I started playing that Spectrum game again. So last week I called it the Spectrum Effect. That's not what the game's called.
I knew it, because that's something else, as we talked about.
It's called the Spectrum Retreat.
So you're getting away from it. That's a sequel.
No, that's just what it's called. So I played a little bit more of that. Didn't make it very far. I did not play Prey anymore.
You didn't play?
I didn't play. I played a little bit of Call of Duty, like I mentioned earlier, but you just can't do it. Played some more Bloons. I've been trying to find a fun racing game. So I downloaded Need for Speed Heat, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and then Forza Horizon 4. Uninstalled in both Need for Speeds because they were bad. Forza's still on my computer, and I've been playing it a little bit. So that's actually been super fun. When I can't figure out what game I want to play, I'll just go racing a little bit. I want to get a wheel bad. I bought a PS5 controller.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it's even less compatible with PC now. They broke the software even more, so I took it back, and I was going to bring you your PS4 controller tonight, but I didn't.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to have to get used to the Xbox controller again because it's natively supported on Windows. So, which is fine. I really like the feel of the PS5 controller. Like I really like it. So it's sad it's just not supported as well as it should be. So what else did I download? I think that's mostly what I've been playing. Well, in Fortnite, I've been getting pretty into Fortnite.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, I don't know why. Because I like Battle Royales a lot, actually. That's probably why. And Warzone fucking sucks dick right now. So, yeah, I've been playing quite a bit of Fortnite, and they have a new mode in it right now that just came out today, where it's only 60 people, and it's in a small circle. So it's pretty hectic, and you get 50 health when you kill somebody. So it's pretty fun.
Okay. I know you've been, speaking of Battle Royales, real segue, you've been playing another game you told me. That involves...
I played Worms Rumble.
Yes.
I played a couple games of that. Well, I played the tutorial, and then I played one game. It seems like it could be fun. The controls are kind of hard. Like, it's not necessarily the controls are hard. The way that you play the game is hard, just because the perspective is so different. Of controlling this guy that's moving side to side, and you have to aim like a spectrum. I don't know, it's weird. It runs well and it seems fun, so I'm definitely down to play it.
Yeah, I also played a few rounds.
And we played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah.
I had fun with Worms. I was playing alone, which I know would be more fun with other people. I don't really know. I feel like I was just playing deathmatch. It didn't feel like Battle Royale. I don't know if you were playing Battle Royale.
I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it. I don't think the gameplay is bad. I think it's just going to take adjusting to. I think, especially if you're used to Worms, I know you didn't play Worms much, but I think that made a lot more sense when it was turn-based because that was kind of the point. You could take your time to set up the perfect shot, and that's why a two-stick thing works so well. But with it being, what do you want to call it? Why am I blanking? I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's not real time, I guess, is what I'm saying. So you can, or it is real time. Yeah. So you can shoot while you're moving, which makes it a little too chaotic, and you can't really aim or anything. It's kind of just going crazy, but it was fun. They definitely look more like little dicks than Worms. I don't know if you noticed that. It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that. They used to be really cute. Now I'm just looking like I'm looking at a bunch of little dicks. But it was fun. I want to play with other people. I don't know if I was playing Battle Royale. I want to try that. And
was there a green gas that was coming in?
There was, but I felt like it was just deathmatch. I just kept coming back, and I was killing other people. And
you shouldn't be able to come back.
Yeah, so
I don't fucking know, dude.
I got 3 achievements, and I actually played. I did like you, the tutorial, and then one full game. It just lasted a while. I got 3 achievements, and one was 3 kill streak. And it was funny because I was in a party, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't have any fucking clue what's going on. I don't know if I'm killing it." And then I got an achievement in the middle of that sentence. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I got 3 people in a row without dying. I didn't know I did that." That's how fucking chaotic it is. And yeah, we've been playing Sea of Thieves, or SOT as the kids are calling it. And I enjoy Sea of Thieves. We're playing the Pirates of the Caribbean DLC, which is a cooler idea than the execution, I think.
I think the execution will be good once we get into the story. It's just taken so fucking long.
We've done 2 chapters though, and there's only 5, so I'm starting to think this is the content. You just go through these.
The people I've talked to, Bazooka's finished it, and then I've seen people that finished it and says it gets really good.
I hope so, because like I said, when I saw the announcement, I was like, this is a perfect fit. But so far, it kind of seems like a really bad reason to use a good property. And
I think the last couple chapters just specifically are like very Pirates of the Caribbean. Like this is just setting it up, and then that second mission sucked so much. I had no fun, literally zero.
It's funny because I was about to say, even though the content's not good, I'm still gonna play it because I'm having fun.
I'll play it because I like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
But that second mission, I don't even know. It took forever to get to the spot. And once we got there, what were we doing?
I don't know.
We just kept running. I don't know. It was so bad. I hated it.
And then I'm still getting achievements, so that's a bonus there that motivates me.
Sure.
Then besides that, just played a good amount of Master Chief Collection. And I got Headhunter, which I think you're not a fan of that mode, as in Reach.
I don't like Reach, so.
I fucking love that mode. I used to specifically play that on Reach all the time. And I don't know how to find it unless you do a custom match or something. I don't know how to actually find it in matchmaking. I got it for the first time, which tells you how little it comes up. That I just not got every time you kill somebody, they drop a skull, and then you can pick up to 10, and you return them to your base, and you get 10 points. And then it's kind of like risk and reward because it has an indicator over your head. So like, oh shit, that guy's 10, then you know that everybody's coming after you.
Call of Duty came out with a mode like that doesn't matter what it's called, but you just collect dog tags, and you can collect up to a certain amount, and you take them back to a base or whatever.
Yeah, I fucking love that mode, and I wish there's
it's very fun.
a filter for it.
I would play it for sure in Halo. It's very fun in Call of Duty.
Yeah, that created for some of the most exciting moments in Reach of like what's gonna happen, or like oh shit, they're coming after me. So I wish there was a filter for it.
It's actually interesting. I thought it was a Call of Duty mode, like a new mode. I was like, oh, this is new and creative.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, I guess it's a Halo mode.
That's all I've been playing. So like I said, not much unfortunately, but we'll see how the week goes.
I've been doing a lot of tinkering with games. None that I'm going all in on.
I hear you.
Until X Defiant comes out.
Speaking of X Defiant, what are you even watching?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Streams.
Yeah.
I promised I'd watch Castle Rock, and I'll admit that I didn't.
Yeah, it was video evidence of a promise.
And I was video evidence of an apology. Sorry, I didn't do it.
I might cut this part out.
Don't. You have enough editing as is. You got a bloody nose to get out and a shit break. So.
Well, now you just said it. Why didn't it be cut out, you know?
Because it'll be funny. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? I'm watching some streams. Dude, there's this streamer named Repulse. You would fucking hate him. I think you would appreciate his humor, but you would fucking hate him. He's the most energetic thing I've ever seen in this world. But he also seems like someone that would have worked well in our friend group. He always talks about like slapping dudes' asses and sucking dick.
Not for that humor.
And like someone will subscribe to him, and they'll be like something like Asian invasion. He's like, oh, I'm gonna invade your asshole later. Like he's just got really funny, witty, gay humor, and which I think you would find that part really funny. But he's so energetic. He's always screaming and jumping up. Every time someone gives 5 subs, he jumps up and slaps his ass, and he like deep throats his mic, and he's fucking awesome. But I watch him every single night before I go to bed. Every single night, 9 p.m. And he stays on until like 6 in the morning.
You stay on the whole time?
No. That's like why I have headphones in bed and I'll fall asleep too, because I have this little thing in my bed that's hooked to my headboard that holds my phone right here. So super lame, and it's super loud every time he's like, it's like this. It's actually way louder than that, but how loud that is to you guys, that's how loud it is in my bedroom when my wife and my dogs are trying to sleep. But it's more like
People next door. I know you're not in an apartment. People next door, oh man, they're getting crazy over there.
Nuts. I'm just trying to watch a guy slap his ass, talk about deep throating dudes. And he's
all
like,
been there.
his subscribers, you know how people have people name their community.
Yeah, Swifties.
The Swifties, yes. Or Believers.
Yeah, Swifties.
His are the Sexy Boys Club. So he has a giant sign behind him that says the Sexy Boys Club. He's part of the SBC. He's awesome. I love him so much. And that's what I've been watching. You would hate him. I think his humor's right up our alley.
Uh-huh.
But his
delivery.
His delivery, I think it's incredible, but you would hate it.
I gotcha. Speaking of hating things.
Really quick.
Yes.
He also seems like the most genuine human being on earth.
You haven't met me.
Most people at this point, because he has like 20,000 subscribers, which is crazy. For someone who's relatively small, he's only been streaming for like a year. Like the highest person on Twitch has like 70,000 or something. So I think he's in like the top 20, which is nuts. He thanks every single subscriber, which now you can gift 100, which is $500. You can gift 100 subscribers to people like Nick Merckx, who's a big Call of Duty guy, and he'll just ignore it. You know what I mean? This guy will like cry if you gift him like some money or like you're just so thankful. So not only is he energetic and awesome, he actually seems like a legitimate fucking human being. And he'll ignore the game all the time and like talk to the people. And he just seems like a fucking real person. So that's also why I like him a lot. He seems like an actually fun, relatable, genuine, horny person. Because he says I'm horny all the time. And he says fact. That's his big thing.
Nope. I'm out.
Fact. Dude, you would hate him. I don't think there's anybody you could hate less. Which is sad because he's so awesome. But
I can think of one person.
Hitler.
Yeah. Speaking of
Hitler.
Bingo. I got sad news for you. I saw the Forever Purge, and I didn't think it was good.
Really?
I thought it was bad.
But you have an opinion?
There was entertaining moments. It wasn't like it was the worst thing ever. Well, it wasn't the worst thing I've seen at all. But there were some entertaining moments. Some of the action was cool. But I thought, I can't really say the acting was bad, but I think the writing and the dialogue was fucking horrendous.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was so bad. I don't really place
it
on the actors because it didn't really seem, I guess, poorly delivered. So I think it was more the writing. And I know it was political and social, which I don't care about that. That was like a driving force of the movie. So if it makes sense in terms of the movie, I think that kind of stuff should be talked about. But I just thought they handled it so poorly, like they were so heavy hitting with it.
Oh yeah, I said that before you went. I said that last week. Now they're trying to keep America clean and pure and white, and
yeah, it just felt so forced and not like. I don't think it's how the. Not this movie is supposed to be like completely realistic or anything, but it took me out of it, thinking it was so over the top and.
Oh, we went into it different mindsets. That's the problem.
I feel like
I hate every Purge movie. They're all terrible, but I enjoy them.
Well, that's what I thought most of them were, but you said you thought this one was like a genuinely good movie, and I said,
yeah,
that's why I'm so surprised because I was like, damn, felt like
that's surprising. The story's pretty good. It's much more than just survive the night. It's trying to get a family across to somewhere. I don't want to spoil it, I guess. It sets up a future of like a fucked up America. Yeah, I thought the story was well delivered. There's more to it than just survive the night. I cared about the family.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't. I was like, I hate all these people.
You hated the dude, the Mexican dude.
Yeah, just because it all felt so fake and so preachy. Not like it didn't feel like that's how the world would be. Even with there would be people like that.
People like that.
Oh yeah, there would be people like that, but the majority of people in the world are not like that. So if the world was like that, you'd have so much more people standing up against it. And
you also don't have a world that there's one night where you're allowed to murder people.
Oh, that's why I say I know that it's fictional, but still would criticize the dumbest video games for things. So everything still has a certain level of believability and takes you out of things. And I feel like when it was so ham-fisted and just so direct about these things that I feel like they're being really preachy about. I was like, this is taking me out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was the best one since the first one.
There's still some cool action moments, and it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen. I was genuinely like, oh, this could be a fun movie. And I was just kind of like, man, I am not liking this at all. So sad.
Like a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I'd say probably like a 4, because like I said, it's not like it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but I'd say it's like a not great movie on my scale.
I thought it was good. I would watch it again. I would never own it.
You wouldn't have it forever?
No. But no, yeah, I think I'm excited for the next one.
Oh,
with the way it ended. Yeah. For sure. That doesn't excite you? The idea of spoilers. The idea of the whole America is literally under siege. That doesn't excite you at all?
No, especially because that felt so fake that this, and it was ironic, the stuff they're preaching about, like America being so bad and so racist, but yet this wall was keeping the entire border of this other country safe, and the entire country's falling apart.
There's new laws in this world. You're allowed to murder people one night a week.
Yeah, but you think the people on this side are going to care about the rules on that side? They're going to go in and destroy that shit too.
Definitely.
And take it
That's
over.
what the next one's going to be. It's not just going to stay in America. You're thinking about it way too literally and way too realistically.
Well, I wouldn't have, but when they're so over the top with their views that I don't think.
Interesting. I didn't even feel like they were.
Oh man, I think
they only mentioned it like twice, and it was when they were on the radio in the car.
There were so many subtle things. Well, they thought were subtle, but were not at all. I was just like, oh shit.
You're probably more sensitive to that stuff though than I am.
Speaking of that, I watched the second episode of Loki.
Okay.
And the third? Yeah, the third, because I'm halfway through. The first one I thought was okay. People said it was like the best Marvel show yet. And then people are like, well, you gotta watch later. It gets better. I think it's getting more interesting. It seems like it could potentially be more interesting than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I just called it the Captain show.
I don't think it's gonna be better than WandaVision, but we'll see. They're definitely doing their Marvel thing where they're just putting these fucking weird social views for no reason. And I feel like they're so obvious and take you out of the moment. But
maybe that's just where we differ. Those don't take me out of the moment ever for me.
Really? Because I
never think about them.
It just seems so unnatural to. You're talking about how it's like an over-the-top movie. This is obviously a movie about powers and like the most ridiculous things. So when they break it down, and he's like, spoilers. He's like,
it's spoiling for me too. But it's
this is all over online. I'm sure you've seen it. If you don't want me to say, I won't.
You can, just because we're talking about it.
But she's like, do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I should say? I have both sometimes. I was like, this.
He's bisexual.
Yeah, it's just. That's so.
That would never pull me out of it ever.
Yeah, that took me straight out of it because I don't care that he's bisexual. Who gives a shit if you're bisexual? You're bisexual. But they would never need a moment to be like, "Oh, I'm straight," just so you know. That seems so weird, or that just pulled me straight out of Marvel. But why the fuck are we focusing on this? Who cares what he likes?
What's the show about him? You got a lot of stuff to go over.
How is that fucking vital to the Marvel universe?
Well, you could argue that for a lot of things that are in movies and TV shows.
And I argue a lot about that, not just social issues. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of that?
And to know the character more. A lot of people care about that. I know the character more. A lot of people love that.
I think they love it just because they need to hear that, though. Like I said, I don't care that he is bisexual, but that doesn't.
A lot of people think it's awesome. Like, oh, fucking yeah, he's bisexual.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly why they do it, because they know to get that reaction. But I don't think you need to. There's nothing wrong with him being that way if that's what he is or whatever, but just let it be that. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I mean, they felt like they wanted to tell what he was, and they did. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think there's something very wrong with how things are getting delivered, and I feel like we obviously do see things different, but I feel like the fact that you didn't realize a lot of things in The Purge shows how common these kind of things are now. That it's just like so obvious that.
Well, I think I'm different because I give so little of a shit. about that type of stuff that I'm just still sucked in. So social issues, like I'm all for everyone having the rights they need, and every gays, all that shit. I'm all for it. I love it all. Like you should all have what you want to have and be what you want to be. And so when that stuff is even being thrown in your face, I'm just like, oh, nice.
Oh, I'm the same.
And I don't even like it, but it doesn't like take me out of it. Like, oh, why would they do that?
Yeah, it does for me because I'm the same exact way. I'm like, as long as you're not harming other people, who gives a shit? Everybody do whatever they want, and that's why it's.
So why does it matter that they brought it up?
That's exactly why it does, because everybody should just be able to be that way. We don't need to force down people's throats, and the more you do that, the more it's going to cause division.
But if it is something that needs to be brought out, like if there's a point in his story where there will be a boy, it needs to be established that he.
Or you could just do that, like, hey, I met a girl, and you don't need to be like, hey, I'm straight, and then later they meet a girlfriend.
Well, you don't.
That could just happen naturally.
People don't come out as straight.
Yeah, that's why if you really care about that and you want things to be different, handle it differently. Just let him meet a guy, and if people react poorly to that, that's on them.
Well, you could do it that way, or you could ask what his preferences are. There's literally multiple ways to go about it, and they're all fine.
I guess they're all fine in your eye. I think that creates more division.
Really? Asking people what they prefer?
I think this is how things get so mixed up and people assume people are racist or don't like gay people or any of this stuff, because it's not an issue that you're asking that. It's a issue that if you question that, or if you question the motives of something, that means you don't support it. Like I said, I have no issue with gay people or black people or bisexual people or any of this. Everybody, as long as you're not harming anybody, I don't give a shit what you are.
I guess that's why I'm not seeing your point on why it's weird that it got asked in Loki.
For that reason, because if you truly just people are people, you don't need to handle things like that.
But I'm saying it's probably going to be some part of the story, so they have to establish that story arc.
But you don't have to. If people are people, weird. He could meet a guy, and that's establishing it. You don't have to.
Is there a way to establish it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know a different way to establish it? Is by establishing it by another character asking the character.
Yeah.
So both ways are correct. I don't see either one as an issue.
But you would think that you would probably be.
I would question it more if you met a guy later, like, oh, is he gay? I didn't know that.
But you said both ways are right, and they just said you think.
Yeah, but I'd be more like, whoa.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That came out of nowhere.
Wouldn't that be like, wow, they handled that differently?
Even more interesting. It's just as interesting if they're like, you have any girlfriends? Oh, I guess, are you even a boyfriend? I both sometimes. Whoa. What an interesting way to tell us that story. See, I don't even think about it. It literally doesn't take me out of it at all. Because I heard about this, and I was like, oh, interesting.
But why do you need to hear about that? Like, why was that?
That's what I'm saying. What if there's a story arc in the show that does need, like, you need to already establish that, and then something later plays off of that.
I know you said people don't announce that they're straight, but that's because we're used to it, so nobody thinks of it. So
but he's not straight.
I know, but we're going off the straight thing here for a second. You
Why?
said
he's not straight.
I know. So when people are saying, you said they don't need to say they're straight because people don't announce that.
Yeah.
They don't, because it's normalized and people don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
So when in stories, they can just do that naturally. And
do what naturally?
A guy can meet a girl can meet a guy.
Yes.
You don't have to set it up.
Correct.
And you said they need to have that story progression. You don't need to.
If it's different than being straight.
Why though?
Because that's a difference.
But if you meet a guy and you're usually into girls, then that would be the difference. You would see that.
Correct. You would see that, and that would be a way of telling that story. Another way of telling that story is by having someone ask the character.
So would it take you out of the moment if somebody said, I'm straight, and then later they met a girl?
You're arguing a weird point.
Would that?
People don't come out as straight. It is a tough thing for gays, bisexual to have to come out, and it's not a normal thing, which sucks for them. So it has to be established that you're not straight in a different way. It would be weird to come out as straight because that is the normal.
So I know he's not straight. I don't know if we can't ask hypotheticals. I'm asking you. I know that's not how it is. I'm saying if you were watching something and he said, I'm straight, and then later he met a girl, would that take you out of it?
It depends on how it was brought up. Like if he was being hit on by a guy, I'd be like, oh, are you into guys? Like, no, I'm straight. And then no, that wouldn't take me out of it at all. It depends on how it's brought up. If it's just a casual conversation, oh, by the way, are you straight? That seems forced.
And this seemed very forced. That's what I'm saying. It didn't seem natural.
Okay.
So that's.
Would you have a girlfriend? Oh, I guess, or a boyfriend. I don't want to assume. That seems natural. I've had both sometimes.
I guess you'd have to watch it. Maybe you won't see it, but
probably won't.
The way they deliver it is very forced. It doesn't seem natural, and that's why it takes you out of it.
We're talking about different things. The way it's delivered versus what is delivered. What is delivered wouldn't take me out of it at all. How it's delivered might, because if the acting's shitty. What versus how is very different.
Well, I think I do have issue with both.
That's what I'm definitely sensing the what. Now the how.
Yeah.
Yeah, the what doesn't matter. How, maybe, if it's shitty acting.
Well, I guess that's where we see differently, because I feel
like it's been established that we see differently on it.
Well, you said it doesn't matter. It does to me. It might not
doesn't
to you.
To me, yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, the what doesn't matter. The how does. I don't know why you're laughing. I feel like I've actually handled this pretty well.
I'm just laughing.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I guess it's we obviously see it very differently because, like I said, I'm surprised he didn't notice more things in the purge. So I feel like society has just changed so much that people are just used to hearing things like that, and
we're not used to hearing that America needs to be white and.
Well, even when I said that the word America wouldn't be like that, you said, "Oh, I know people like that. I know."
I definitely know people that are fucking really shitty to Hispanics and.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That it seemed like I was just saying that was like a defensive point, or like I was trying to say nobody's like that. I know there's people like that in the world, but I don't think majority of people are like that. I don't think that.
Yeah, I think they would in that world if there was a world of trying to get rid of people. In the world of the purge, that type of world would make sense.
I think there'd be so much more good, and
people would want. Good would come out more in the purge.
Yeah, and I think you'd have the whole crowd of, like, we're seeing the very minimal things that want to be the white knight and try and make themselves look better and defend things even if they don't really believe in it. I think you'd have.
Yeah, I think the purge.
Well, it wouldn't be good. I'm not saying that.
I don't think any good would come from it.
I don't think good would come from it in the sense that it'd be more positive. I'm not saying we should do that.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm saying that I don't think majority of people are racist or sexist or terrible people. And obviously, you'd have to kill people. You'd have to do extreme things to survive. But I don't think that would just make everybody racist and everybody sexist and everybody.
Well, yeah.
Things that are not.
I think there'd be groups formed like that, just like there's been in real history of groups against minorities. And I think it would just come out even more. There'd be huge groups of people trying to purge America to make it. Obviously, this was on a crazy scale of destroying all of America, and somehow this pocket of white fat people made America burn. Like, that's a little ridiculous. I understand that. But if we're taking it serious, I think there would be little forms of that. But I think for the most part, yeah, it would probably just be people hiding. And just, there would be some loud white people, and there'd probably be some loud black people, and there'd be loud diversions all over the place. Loud diversities all over the place.
Maybe that's how I can say it then, maybe you can see that more, is that, yeah, there's, like you said, there'd be terrible people all around, and they only seem to really hammer at one thing the entire time.
Yeah, those little pods would exist, because those have existed in real history.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like they had any angle of, like, all things are terrible. It felt like it was just, like, this one thing is terrible.
White people are great. That's the one thing we're going to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the movie, yeah.
That seems odd to me because the world there'd be so many terrible facets, and then there would be
Yeah, in a real world. You're taking it too literal again. In
But I
this
feel
world,
like they're presenting it like they want you to feel like this is going to be the real world, not that
it's
they
kind of
think
like
the world's going to turn
what they've
into
been
it.
moving toward with the Purge movies. Unfortunately, it went from a movie. That's why I like the first one a lot. Of like, hey, crime is down if we just kind of let people.
It's raining.
I think a fly is dying.
Is he burning to death?
Yeah.
I mean, that's karma, but it's kind of sad.
It's dying.
Oh, he's
Fighting.
Did you see all the?
Yeah.
I mean, probably just dust. It looked like smoke, but probably it's him.
It's literally him probably trying to survive.
It's fucked up.
No, yeah, I get that the movie's over the top, and I get that it's. Oh, but the first movie was, hey, crime's down because we're letting people kind of do whatever the fuck they want for a night, and they kind of are good for the rest of the year. That's already far fetched to me, but it's like, okay, I can get down with that. It makes for a fucking good movie for a one night of doing whatever the fuck you want and trying to survive it. The first movie was great. And then they got Ethan Hawke to get out of there somehow. And then they got everyone else to make shittier versions of it. I think that's why I liked this one. It's just like, it was just different. Like, it wasn't just surviving a night. It was, oh shit, this, military group of angry white people are trying to purge America, which is what the movies have turned into anyway. So I think I had already kind of prepared for that. Because I think it's what the third one was about, or the fourth one was about. Third one? Or the 4th of July one was. Third or fourth one. It was about America being purified too. So I think I just prepared me to go into this one with the same mindset already.
Well, see if I can smell them.
I am going to watch Loki, so I will find out about the scene. But I already know about it. I'm pretty sure I've seen the clip on Twitter.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I was like, oh my god, look, he's bisexual. Oh my god. He looks, nice.
Well,
He's a really good looking dude.
To transition, but kind of stick with it, so I can tell you that I don't, like I said, I don't have an issue with these kind of things. And I think it can be presented well. I think it's just when it's forced is when I have an issue with it. I've been watching more of Dave, which on the surface sounds like a joke because it's so ridiculous. First off, it's getting funnier, and I think it's funnier than the first season.
Okay.
Besides that last episode, which I know you're not a fan of, but I loved it.
Yeah.
There's also an episode you're just straight up not going to be able to watch in this. But that's one episode. A lot of it's not that kind of humor. I feel like that's a prime example of a show that handles all those things, but it doesn't.
That shit doesn't feel forced to you?
No, it's just because it's so creative and well done that I feel like when they're doing those things, it doesn't seem like they're just trying to be like, here's how we feel about these things, presenting it. So I don't have an issue with those kinds of things. I feel like you just have to present it well.
So how, not the what?
I think both, but
it's more the how.
Maybe more.
Well, you're saying you don't care about the what. You just said that. Oh, I don't have an issue with those things. It's just how it's delivered.
Well, I guess if you consider how also that they cover multiple, like not just drive home at one thing. So that's where I feel like it's both. But if you're considering that a how as well, like they don't just try and go at one topic or one race or gender or one thing the whole time.
Dave is definitely pointed, and they definitely force topics to talk about for sure. But they can do it in a funny or good way.
Yeah, and it leans more towards.
So you just need to be creative.
Is there another one?
The big ones are above the green. Get a fly slaughter. They're gonna be fucking dead.
Maybe he'll join his friend. He's like, hey, where are you?
He's probably that noise is probably him screaming. No, Dave, don't come in here. Oh, I thought you actually got him.
Yeah, I might have if there was a wall. I was kind of worried about knocking her whole set down. I also wonder what the. Oh, I can't see it.
Man.
That's actually all I've been watching is those three things.
Does if you like. Green screens are weird.
Have you been listening or reading any books?
Mm-mm.
No. I finished Console Wars.
Nice.
I like it. I think it's hard for me to follow books in general. That's why I started listening to audiobooks. But I feel like I noticed, even with audiobooks, if I don't already know the story, it's hard to follow. Like, I've been listening to a lot of books that of things I know, like video games or movies, so I kind of have an understanding of it. So I feel like I'm kind of like you, where I kind of need to visualize things. And if I have no connection to this thing, it's hard for me to visualize what they're talking about or saying. Or something like Console Wars that is historical, and they're covering so many different people. There's only so many different voices you can do, no matter how good of a reader you are. I'm like, this sounds like that other guy, and his name's Tom, his name's Kevin. I don't.
Oh yeah, you're into the voices.
Well, not even criticizing like
no.
that. I'm just saying, no matter how good you are at it, it's so hard to, if you're covering 30 people in a book, to have different voices. Nobody could really. That would be so hard for anybody to do.
Yeah, I would just rather them not do voices. I'd rather them just read it like a book. And
when they're not like standout obvious characters, like Master Chief or characters like that, when there's normal people, I'm like, I can't get mixed up who's who and where are we at here. So I think the book's really good. I just wish I could concentrate on more, and I know they're making a series on this, so that might be more my style. It helped I did already know the base story of this, but I didn't know like all the people and all the names, so it was a little harder to follow. There is a lot of interesting facts in that book that I did not know, even though I know the broad story of it. And if you're into video games and history and seeing where we got now with people hating each other for having certain systems, this was the start of it, and get an idea of it.
Nice.
And then
audiobooks, I never had that issue with. I can follow audiobooks pretty easily.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter the genre. I've done horror, suspense, thrillers, comedies, fantasies, and I don't know why, but I'm pretty. Maybe it's just the way my brain works. I can visualize what he's saying easier. I don't know. I feel like I've always been able to follow audiobooks pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's 'cause I've only done a few. Maybe I gotta get used to how they do it.
Maybe you find like a certain type of guy you like.
Yeah. Been trying to do it my whole life. But then I got my next book, and it's Armada, as you saw when you got in the car.
I've read that book physically.
I was surprised to hear that. I didn't add much to it because I was trying to save it for the podcast. But I don't know if you know, this book has been trashed like crazy.
Yeah.
Because
Ready Player One was so good too.
Yeah, and people have hated everything he's done since then. I heard people hate Ready Player 2, but this book was hated. Is it? I heard this book was definitely the most hated of the three. This was a follow-up to Ready Player One, not connected, but his follow-up project. And I'm only about an hour in, so I can't really say much about it. Will Wheaton's the reader on this, and he's a bit over the top. He's the one that did Ready Player One. He does a good job. He's just a bit much at times. Yeah. Especially because these books are so inherently nerdy that sometimes I'm literally cringing. I'm like, oh, God, that was hard to listen to. I know it's part of the book.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah. Did you listen to these or you read them?
I read Ready Player One. No. Yes. I started Ready Player One physically, like an actual book. I finished it with the thing. I read Armada. I read Ready Player 2. I'm not finished with Ready Player 2, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm almost done with it.
Did you like Will Wheaton reading, or do you not care? Or
I don't really care. You got to be fucking bad for me to not be able to listen to your. The best is whoever does the Harry Potter books. There's two guys. One of them's last name is Fry, and I don't think it's him.
Greg Fry? No. Greg Fry is a former Ohio State quarterback that used to announce Destroyers games. No, I know who you're talking about because he's a narrator in Little Big Planet, but who I'm thinking of.
Stephen Fry.
Yeah, Stephen Fry. That's him.
And Jim Dale. I like Jim Dale a lot. But I think people love Stephen Fry more.
Yeah.
I think I have both on my. But he's fucking incredible. Both those guys are incredible. But I think I really like Jim Dale. I've heard some the dudes that do Stephen King's books are pretty bad. Whoever did It was pretty good. I did Pete Carroll wrote a book called something. I don't know. Winning.
Christmas Carol.
No, it'd be funny though. Something about winning and like the culture around winning or something. It was just like a story of like playing, coaching, USC, sucking in the NFL. You know what I mean? Coaching there, getting kicked back down, then going up to Seattle. And it was read by Pete Carroll, and it was actually pretty good. I don't mind his voice. I thought it would annoy me having the author of the book read it to me, but it wasn't too bad. That was a long tangent. I don't mind Will Wheaton. You have to really suck dick for me to be like, I can't listen to you.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he does a bad job, and he likes games a lot, so I think he's a good choice for it.
I don't remember him being over the top. I really liked Ready Player One, if that was him.
That was him.
Yeah, I really liked the way that he did that.
Yeah, I don't think it's on him. I think the books are so inherently nerdy
that book is fucking nerdy as shit.
And if you watch Ready Player One, it's also nerdy, so I think that's how it should have been delivered. I just think it's kind of hard to...
Did you read Ready Player One and then watch the movie, or the other way?
Other way.
Okay, so you probably like the movie.
Yeah, I like the movie more. I like both of them, but...
The book is astronomically better, in my opinion.
Cody listened to it after, and he thought it was better, so he did the same thing I did, but I didn't.
I think if you read the book first.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He did the same thing I did, and he likes the book way more, but...
The book is... The puzzles are better. The way it goes in depth is better. The end is so much better. The big fight scene's better. But I like the movie because it's pretty much a different story.
Yeah, I just think seeing it come alive visually is why I like that so much, since I like video games. And the video games are usually have such bad reputation, even though I think there's some good video game movies. They have such bad reputation, seeing the huge names behind that movie and the hype it got.
Yeah.
I think I like that a lot.
I did like the movie. Most people that liked or read the book hated the movie. It was so different. I liked the movie. I bought the movie.
I did too.
So.
And obviously it was fucking cool seeing, even though you couldn't visualize Columbus, it was cool seeing that there and knowing that Ernest Cline's from here. So he's like, shit. Because that's always what I imagined. I was like, man, if I made a game, I'd set it in Columbus because nobody would fucking know.
I think you're going to like Armada. I don't know why people would trash it. Maybe Ready Player One was just so good of a hit.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is different, for sure. Armada's different.
I was wondering, because people started hating on him in general. I don't know if he said some stuff people didn't like, or everybody just liked.
He probably said something's gay and everyone's canceling him.
Yeah, because I feel like people would not stop talking about how he's an amazing author and he's just great at everything, and then everything he did after that, everybody hated him and said he was a terrible writer. So how did his skills drop off that much? I don't really get it.
It's super weird. Armada I thought was really good. I liked it just as much as Ready Player One. I liked Ready Player One probably a little bit more, but Armada is just right up there. Ready Player 2 is not as good as either, but good.
Okay.
I've read most of it. But.
Yeah. We get to the free games.
Let's do it.
On Xbox One, you have Midway Arcade Origins till July 31st. On Xbox 360, I don't know if I said Xbox One.
You did.
That's what I thought I might have. On Xbox One, actually, you have Planet Alpha till July 31st and Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break till August 15th. PlayStation Plus, you have Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, these are the same from last week.
Yeah. And WWE 2K Battlegrounds until... this one, I didn't have the end of the day. I didn't change it. Well, both of those. And then Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. And then PS5, you have Plague Tale Innocence.
And on the Epic Games Store, you have Abduction, free now until July 22nd at 11 a.m. And Off-World Trading Company. Both these look awful. Usually they come out with some pretty good games.
Yeah.
But that one's also available until the 22nd. And then you'll get new games. This is at least nice. They tell you the game's coming. Defense Grid, The Awakening. I know that's a game that people know about and care about. I don't. And then a World War I game called Verdun, Western Front. But this Abduction game is from the people that made Myst. I know that's a pretty popular game. So that's only free for a couple more days.
All right. I lied to you. I said I had a fake outrage this week. I didn't get that ready. So if you're here next week, I'll have fake outrage so you can understand.
Still not sure what that is.
That's why I said I'd have one ready for you so you can understand, but I failed.
I'm angry.
I just didn't think about it, actually.
I'm outraged that there are people that look too much in the movie. TV shows.
Is that fake outrage though?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not actually mad about it. But it is, right?
Yeah.
Like people do it, like you. Just kidding. But people definitely do it. Not people do it way more worse than even what you're saying. And that would fake. I don't know how it works.
I'll teach you if you're here.
I was just trying to go back to our conversation, and I just didn't do it well.
Well, if you're here next week, I'll have one ready for you, as I said last week.
Can I do a little sneak peek of what Cody picked up this week? I'm going to do one sneak peek.
Okay.
This guy I haven't talked to since he moved to Seattle. And when I worked at Sutphen, just keeps sending me Instagram pictures. Super weird. Cody picked up. I'll just give you one thing. Oh, he picked up a lot. WCW NWO Thunder on PlayStation. And
He's probably like, that's my fifth one too.
That's yeah, that's the one he's gonna sell. The joke, kind of. Oh, dude, he got Matrix Path of Neo.
You said one.
I
Now
don't care.
nobody's gonna tune in now.
Did you play that game?
I think so. I know I played Enter the Matrix. That's the main one I played. I fucking loved it.
Path of Neo was good too. Which one was the one?
We played a guy and a girl in their different campaigns.
Yeah, and one was Jada Pinkett Smith, I think.
I don't remember if it was her, but that was Enter the Matrix, unless more than
That
one
one's
game
good
did it.
too.
Yeah,
Was that the one with the twins with like the weird hair?
I think so.
Yeah, that game was fucking sweet. Destructible environments and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that that's a game that we have a false illusion on, and it reviewed terribly, and people mocked it, and they said it's one of the worst games. And it doesn't. Well, obviously, it
I'm
didn't
sure
hold up,
people-
but even at the
yeah,
time, people hated it.
People hate it, yeah.
I didn't know that. I would have
think I
thought that
did
was
know
like
that.
reviewed pretty well.
Well, it's because we didn't used to care about reviews, and they never used to be in our minds. We just liked what we liked.
Oh, that's how I still try and be. That's
how
why
we try and be. I try and be that way, but they still sneak in.
I do every now and then, but not often for me. That's why you'll hear me say that I don't like a lot of popular things or vice versa. But
That's
I don't
another
know.
reason why I won't play Outriders. That and I have to pay for it.
Yeah, see, that's why I think for the most part I don't, because usually if I hear stuff like that, I'm like, I want to see for myself. I don't know
If
if
the
that
game
many people are saying it.
performs super bad and the loot sucks and it's just not worth it, it doesn't sound like something I want to put time into.
Well, I know what I played. I had a shitload of fun, so I gotta
Yeah.
see more. Maybe if it changes, then I'll stop playing it. But especially I get on Game Pass, so
Yeah, it's all you. Won't play it if I have to pay for it. Especially $60.
you're an outsider to the outrider. You know that?
Yep.
Should that be your new name on here?
No, I think we already have one shitty nickname for me.
Hey, I tried to let go. You wanted to bring it back.
Because I like you and I want you to feel happy.
I was happy and let it go, and then you brought it back, and then I was like,